Welcome back to another episode of Talking Tarkov. I'm the EarLegAthlete here with,
Hey, Dizzle.
and yesterday we were at Dave & Buster's when we ran into this guy playing NASCAR pit stop with a sick high score. And we thought to ourselves, let's bring this fountain of talent onto the podcast. Welcome in, Stony. You want to tell them a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you do, maybe how we came to be,
Lovers.
friends and lovers and all that good stuff throughout our, year and a half of Tarkov now.
Yeah, and if you stream anywhere or do any social
Yeah.
media, anything like that.
So my handles are Master Stony 420 on pretty much everything. I stream on the Purple site. I ran into these guys surfing through podcasts on Spotify and thought, you know what? These are the real ones. So just started following, ended up hopping into a few raids with the EarLeg, and it's been history ever since.
Wow. That's crazy you found us on Spotify.
Yeah, we only had a few viewers over on Spotify. I don't even know if we still upload
Yeah.
to Spotify. I have
No,
not
we haven't even
checked.
been uploading.
Yeah, I might start putting stuff back up there. Honestly, I probably should. Welcome back, Spotify.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice to see you.
Shout out to
That's
Spotify.
just out of all places for you to have found us. That's just wild.
It
But I
is, it
remember
is.
that. I remember when
I
you
do,
found us
yeah.
because you had left a comment saying that you was listening to the pod like on your way to work, like in your car or something. At least I think that was you.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. I remember us reading that. We was like, "That's cool. Dude's bumping our fucking podcast on the way to work."
Yeah, because we hadn't really had a lot of interaction at that point. We were still pretty early on into the podcast.
Well, especially on the Spotify side, and the fact that someone was listening to
Yeah, we maybe
Spotify
got a
and their
total of like
choice,
5 comments total on
yeah,
Spotify.
their choice on Spotify was our podcast. It was just
Yeah,
kind of
it's
like, whoa.
crazy. Yeah, it's cool.
So my
It's
thing
It's
eye-opening.
like,
is
what's wrong with this dude?
where I work, my service on my phone kind of sucks. So Spotify is the best way to get any kind of content in. So I said, what the hell? Let me try and see if there's any Tarkov podcasts on here. And I think I went through like 2 of them before I found you guys.
Yeah,
And
because you were watching like Giga Beef and them, right?
mm-hmm.
And then I wonder if
And,
you had seen the original Talking Tarkov Cleans podcast.
I might
Yeah,
have.
I was gonna say I don't know if that one ever made it to Spotify or not.
I'm not sure.
They
I'm
only
just
have
trying to
like
think
4 or
about.
5
There's not a
episodes.
lot of Tarkov podcasts out there. Well, that's not entirely true. I guess there are,
Yeah, there's quite a few, but
several out there. But
a lot of them seem to be either short-lived or few and far in between. Like it doesn't seem to be as regular as what we do it.
right,
It seems like Giga Beef and
church.
yeah, Church seem to be like the only similar style to us as far as like weekly content.
Well, you have Jesse Kazam and
Veritas, yeah, but there's
Veritas, but there's
like we've talked before. It's not necessarily a Tarkov podcast anymore.
right. No, not really at all.
It's more of just a gaming podcast.
But yeah, so me and Stony met up halfway into the wipe before hardcore, and then we ended up playing through the entirety of the hardcore wipe together. And it was a lot of
Pretty fun
fun
stuff.
playing. Yeah, the hardcore wipe was enjoyable. I know a lot of people didn't really care for it, and there were parts of it I didn't really like, right? Like they'd messed up some stuff for sure. I think it
I
could have
like the
been
intensity of not being able to put certain
things in your
things in
container
your
and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was
that was
the
some of the
start
best
of
changes.
something good, yeah. Because then
Yeah.
ammo hasn't made its way back in and stuff like that. So it was the start of something real cool.
Yeah, there's definitely more they could have done, but on a casual player base too, you can't be too heavy with it. Which
I still
hopefully,
love the idea of killing somebody and finding their ammo on them because that
Mhm.
was such a rare thing in Tarkov because everybody
yeah, you'd
obviously
get
puts
2
their
mags
expensive
worth of
ammo.
ammo, right?
Yeah, everybody puts their expensive ammo in their secure container, and it's like when people had to carry it on them, it just felt good. If you was like, still at level 1 traders and someone had gotten ahead of you and, they are at level 2 and it's like they had a better ammo, you could kill them and you'd have, 200, 300 rounds of good ammo just from one kill. And it's just
Yeah, you
something
got
that you
3
didn't
mags,
normally get in Tarkov.
I
especially
enjoyed
with the
how it
stack
made you.
changes now, where you have more
Oh,
in a
Yeah,
stack.
so
yeah.
nice.
I love it.
I
It
enjoyed how
makes
it made you strategize your raids before you went in. Like, okay, well, let me not
what's my
lose all
total
of my
ammo
good
count?
ammo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let me preload these mags with stacked ammo and stuff like that.
I,
That was a lot of fun. And it
I
still
think the
is. It
biggest
still is.
downfall people hated was those first few days of not having any task. Like you really didn't
Well,
have a
in
reason to
transit
do
only with
anything.
limited transits and one of those transits being
Yeah,
forced factory, one
yeah.
of the most congested maps without transit, and then you force everybody in the game onto it. I get the
Well,
idea, I do, but at the same time, it's just kind of like we're playing the game either way.
if you
Spread us out on
remember
some
though,
maps.
it's like that first week, people were just aimlessly running around maps just fighting because you
It
didn't
was
none of the
great. That
traders
was
were
cool.
unlocked yet. Like, yeah, it was like you didn't have your reason of going into a raid was to fight and to get loot because
Strictly
nothing else was
PvP.
there. Like there was no other reason.
Right. Exactly. And it made it more
But
enjoyable
yeah,
that way too because it was way more random. Like now when you hear shots, you know exactly where they're at. Before it was like you would hear the shots and you're like, well, it's in this area, like I don't know exactly where, but oh, they're fighting in this wood line for no reason at all. Cool.
yeah, it livened up the maps. There was a
For
lot more
sure.
fighting. And one of the downfalls with every patch since then is they started to keep a lot of those things from the hardcore wipe in this big new patch, like with the new 1.0 update. But since then, it's like every new update they've kind of brought it all back, and like,
Dialed it back, yeah.
yeah,
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 it's a little
yeah,
bit
yeah, and
not great.
it it's yeah, it's like
Well,
I
I
just I don't
also
know.
hope that this is like just preliminary testing type stuff, seeing what players will allow, bitch about, not bitch about, things like that for like when
And
seasonal gets here, because we're going to be able to manipulate how man, allergies are kicking my ass this year. We're going to be able to manipulate how we play through our seasonal characters, right? So
yeah,
if you wanted no stash or no secure container or start with no items in your stash or whatever, stuff like that, I
yeah,
think is
yeah. Well,
maybe what they're like putting us toward, but without trying to like
that's a
fuck
good
the
point.
entire player base up.
That's a very good point because I wasn't necessarily thinking about that, but yeah, you're right. Because now with the seasonal, you're going to be able to implement a lot of those restrictions on yourself,
Right,
and
right.
that was a good time to test it. And now you can have that and have it already tested without blanketing the whole entire community with it because people can choose what they want to do. So yeah,
But
yeah,
on
that's a
top
good
of
point.
that, from hardcore wipe on, not letting ammo go into your secure container, maybe one of those things.
Yeah.
It's like we want this in the game, So like introduce it to hardcore, and then look, everybody's already used to it.
Did
I know
they?
people. I know people say that they run like they only see players with bad ammo now, and I'm like, that's not true. That's so not true. Every player I
I was gonna
kill,
say
they
they
might have
never
like
did.
a
I didn't know if
reload of
they.
like some not great ammo. Like they might be running 855A1 or SSAAP or M995, but they might have like 856A1 for reload. That might be the case, but you still get
Right.
good ammo and you still get
Right. You still
solid
have
ammo.
ammo. Yeah, because before you would just get no ammo except what was in the mags. At least now you
Right.
can still get stacks. Um, so the one thing they did revert though was meds, right? They made it to where now you can still put
Yeah.
meds.
Yeah, meds
Okay,
still go in your secure container, but for me, it's just like I run 3 total meds now. I go Salewa, Propofol, or AFAC or whatever, for general heals, and then my Propofol, and then I run a Grizzly in my ass with my injector case full.
nice. Oh
Because like
shit.
Grizzlies fix fractures and all that, so I just run them.
This is off subject, but I just realized something. Happy 420, everyone. It is Stony's birthday.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is. That's true.
Smoke them
Yeah,
if you got them.
absolutely. Major changes in my day because of this holiday, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Anyways, so yeah, the hardcore wipe is cool. I do like that they've implemented these subtle changes, and hopefully that is what they're doing it towards, is because of the seasonal release stuff. But I do wish that they would stop implementing like good changes and then bringing them back a little bit and making it less good. It is
yeah.
unfortunate.
Stop caving into the loud minority. Because that's what it is. It's the minority of players being loud about it, and it
It
seems like
is. It
Nikita
is.
has kind of given in on a few things. I will say he has stuck to his guns on some things, so that's good. But like you said, the big thing is we're all going to have the opportunity to decide what we, have with
Yeah,
the
I
seasonal characters.
I think seasonal is going to be a big change for Tarkov and
Yeah.
how we play it. Stony, how do you feel about the seasonal stuff coming up?
I'm not sure how I feel about the seasonal stuff coming up, dude. I'm excited about it because it will bring that hardcore feel. I don't think I've had as much fun on Tarkov than I did on the hardcore wipe, to be 100% honest.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, hardcore was great.
So it'd be kind of cool to see how it plays out.
Do you think that you
What do you
will implement some of these
go ahead.
harder changes onto yourself?
Oh, definitely. I'm
Like
probably gonna see what.
no secure container and stuff like that, or no? Would you not go that far?
Well,
Like,
do
what
we
extremes would
know?
you call too extreme? No, I'm just we've guessed on a few things and we have ideas based off like hints that we're given and just the hardcore wipe in general.
I think we'll
We
be
have
pretty
ideas of
close
what we'll
to
be able
like
to use.
the hardcore wipe, right? So I
I
don't
think
know.
there's going to be some
They
pretty extreme options.
There is. Nikita has already confirmed there's going to
Yeah,
be some very extreme options, such as no secure container, or restrictions on secure container,
yeah.
or pistols only. Just a lot of new,
Just
not
a
new, but a
lot
lot
of
of things.
ways to do
Yeah,
it.
a lot of things that people used to do their like personal hardcore runs. A lot of restrictions they would have, like Pestly or Deadly Slob. A lot of that stuff seems to be the thing they're going for.
Yeah,
The way I look at it is Tarkov was never meant to be like a easy breeze through game, right? We get thrown in with no instruction, no hey, if you load 300 blackout in your 5.56 mag, you're
right,
SOL.
right.
So I think I would go more hardcore options for sure.
What would your cut point be? Where would you say no, that's too much?
Probably not being able to run any guns other than like a pistol. I don't think I already have a
I
hard
kind
enough
of
time
honestly
killing
when I heard
people.
that, I thought that sounded kind of fun.
For like
Well,
But I
and
like
pistol
especially
pistols
if you
like
wise,
could,
5.7 and shit, dude. The shrimp.
if
Oh man.
if you could alternate it where it's like only for like the next 3 raids, pistol only, and then you can like rotate to like
Dude, that would be sick.
SMGs.
That would be
Or
sick.
if it's like 0 to hero type, you can start with nothing and you can only use what
Yeah,
you find in raid.
right, right.
Um,
I would
That's kind
like
of what I
that.
expect with pistols only.
yeah. Well,
I like me some survival looter shooter type deals. So like if the 0 to hero runs that I've seen
yeah,
videos on have always seemed fun,
they're
right?
awesome.
They
Like
are
an
a lot
exciting.
of fun, dude.
Yeah,
So
we
I
got
think
hooked on it. We started doing that. I can't remember, what was it, at the end of Hardcore Wipe, or was it the wipe before that?
Right before I think we were
Yeah.
we were running
I just remember you running in factory and trying to kill Tagila with a knife and
with
like
a melee, dude. I lived
yeah,
way
yeah, it was
longer than I
hilarious.
should have, but he did gun me down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Here's
tried.
a big
It
question for
it wasn't
you,
even a good
Tony.
knife.
When they do implement the seasonal changes, one thing we found out is there are going to be 2 different game servers. You're going to have your legacy player servers and your seasonal player servers. So, what do you think about that? Are you happy with that, or do you think it should all just be mixed?
I don't. I know the big concern is like splitting the player base, right?
Right.
So I don't know. I think I think the hardcore people, like the true Tarkov, 2000 plus hour type players are probably going to play hardcore the seasonal for a little bit, but they're always going to be popping back into their permanent characters to try and advance the prestiges and stuff. So I think this is as far as I've gotten in any wipe, to be honest. So I think I'll probably play a little bit on the seasonal side, and then try and focus on escape and stuff on my main character, and then once I actually get out, probably just jump back over to seasonal and back and forth, back and forth. I think most of my time will be in main game.
Yeah, that makes sense. Although I think a lot of the draw for seasonal is going to be the ongoing events,
Yeah,
because
the constant events and then the
yeah,
rewards. Each season has
all the
specific
big
rewards and stuff.
all the big events, all the big new things are going to be seasonal related. So that's going to be kind of the draw to
New
keep
story
playing
stuff for
seasonal.
seasons and all kinds of things. I
Hmm.
Yeah,
mean, now
and
if they do
the,
this right, like they do with Diablo and things, once that season ends, parts of it, like, the main objectives, the story missions, things like that, they would rotate into Legacy. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
they'll fall over to the main. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which hopefully they
That
do,
would make
because that would be
sense.
the way to do it. That way, when wipes happen and things, you're not losing, stuff that you've saved and earned and are proud of, or at least you can go back and
Well,
get it on your main.
the biggest thing I think is a lot of people are going to love just the freshness of the seasonal content to stick with
Yeah,
the seasonal character, because a lot of people by the time we get this are already, the hardcore guys are already going to be, prestige 2, prestige 3, and they're probably just, since that character is permanent, they're probably not going to be any rush to like keep prestiging. Now some people will, obviously there are
right.
those
We've already got our
people who,
prestige. Think of Hezi and
yeah,
stuff like that. Those
right,
guys that are
but
legit grinders.
the fact that those characters are now permanent, I just think that's gonna open up a lot of people to just
If
messing around with
anything,
the seasonal shit.
for me
'Cause you can play
personally,
carefree.
it puts me in a position where I think, while I do really want to at least get prestige and escape and stuff like that done before season hits, it may not happen. It is what it is. I'm not too pressed about it. I think for me, it opens up a door where I can focus purely on seasonal, enjoy as much of that content as possible, and just hop over to work on specific things towards those goals, right?
Yeah.
Because once I prestige, I like Stony said, I don't think I'm going to be too pressed about main game anymore.
No, I think it rips away that FOMO, that fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Like you don't have that worry anymore because you forever have a permanent character that you can work on whenever you want. You can take your time, do whatever
Yeah.
you want,
Yeah.
and you still have plenty of things to do on your other character. And it just lifts that burden of worrying about getting things done at a certain time,
For
worrying about
sure.
stats. It's like it just opens up a new thing that Tarkov has never had, and that's the ability to just have different. Now, I say Tarkov's never had, but it's never had outside of buying separate accounts. It's never had the ability to play different play styles. Most people don't want to risk their main account, so they'll buy another account. Well, now you don't have to do that. Now you can just start a new seasonal character, do what you want, try a different play style, something that you never got to try before. And I think it's going to draw most people to the seasonal character. But I
For
also
sure.
think there's going to be enough on both to where both servers are going to be, full enough to where it's not like you're going to sit in the queue for, 16 minutes on each time, each time you go into raid.
So according to activeplayer.io for Escape from Tarkov, I don't know what the current count is. This says live, daily, and monthly, so I'm assuming, pretty consistently close. We're at 34,000 active players right now. We are at 203,000 daily players with 761,000 monthly players.
Yeah, that's still
Pretty
top,
substantial number.
that's yeah.
I mean, that is
And I
spread out
wonder if that's
across the
including
world, but
Steam.
like it may not be including Steam either. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure on
But
that
yeah,
one.
that's
It's a pretty substantial
that's
number. It's not
plenty.
crazy, but I think for
No, but
like
that's plenty
if you
enough
split them in
players.
half or even three quarters, like there's still plenty of active raids happening
And I would guess
on
most
both.
of those are from North America. I would guess it's probably close to like 20,
North
25,000 in
America,
North America.
Russian, Latin America, and England, Australia would probably be the most active.
Yeah.
And
So
still
I just
splitting 200,000 people across that is still a pretty hot spot. So
yeah, you should never really have to worry too
I
much
don't think player
about
base is going to be as
player.
bad as it sounds. Yeah. You might end up in some
No.
dead raids every now and then, but every now and then it's kind of nice to have a dead raid, so I'm not really
Yeah.
against it.
Well, and it's like that's always happened in Tarkov. So if it stays the same as it always has been, then that's fine.
Right. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I am looking forward to the seasonal stuff for sure. I'm also kind of excited for this icebreaker thing. Even though they keep just making us wait for it, we're very close to it. We saw the updated roadmap. Pull this up real quick. So this is the excuse me, man, these allergies. This is the preliminary roadmap for Escape from Tarkov for the first half of 2026. Q1 we've already gotten through. We're in Q2. Large scale in-game event, new boss, technical improvements focused on reducing the match loading and exit times, which we're getting right now, calling system, which we're getting now, vegetation rework, which I don't think we've gotten yet, and then some of the balancing fixes, quality of life, and stuff like that. new PMC customization option. But the main thing I want to point out is that the new boss and the large scale event are right around the corner. I mean, it's the first half of the year. If they don't push it back, we're looking at within the next month or two, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I would
Next patch, yeah.
imagine, yeah, it is, yeah, for sure the next patch. And I would imagine that we're probably closer to the month mark, hopefully.
Yeah. I
I'm
would
hoping it
assume.
doesn't wait until June, but even if it does, that's a pretty short amount of time.
Yeah, it's good to just know that there's no more patches coming that are going to be just, weapon tweaks and
Right. Yeah.
updates on a few little things. The next update is probably going to be huge. It's probably going to be seasonal characters, probably going to be icebreaker. It's probably going to be a huge update.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
and just real quick on those player count numbers, that puts it in line with Helldivers, Battlefield 6, Baldur's Gate 3. You know what I
Damn.
mean? Like very high player number games that you don't struggle to find games in. So
Yeah,
when you compare it,
that's impressive. That is
yeah,
impressive. And splitting that in half still gives you very active player bases, so that's good.
yeah, yeah.
Well, lately, I don't think that I've had to wait longer than like 3 minutes to get into a raid.
Yeah, yeah, queues seem really good now.
Well, that's also due to the work they've done. Nikita straight up said they
True.
were completely rewriting the code, and we've gotten more news on that today.
We did. We have two huge patches that just came through. Honestly, actually, no, I won't say huge. We have one huge patch for Arena, and then we have the setup for the next patch. This one for Tarkov wasn't major, I would say. It is, but it isn't, right? Like,
Content wise, it's not, but
yeah, like
yeah,
zero
like you
content.
said, kind of setting up the future. It is.
Yeah, that's what it feels more like. Is it's like all the optimization stuff coming in to get us ready for the next big patch, which is the icebreaker stuff.
Yeah.
So we have a list of changes that's pretty substantial for the most part. Some of the stuff we've already talked about a little bit, but they have made improvements aimed at optimizing off-raid screens. So the your background menu screen is always running, right? So I'm sure that's exactly what they're talking about there. Increased FPS limit in the menus and added an option to adjust it in the game settings. Doesn't
That's
really
pretty
affect me.
nice.
I mean, it is,
It's
yeah, but I'm so
it's
used to just
nice
being
just
locked at
because
60, like it doesn't really bother me.
well, it's nice just because it's something that everyone have kind of asked for forever, and it's like finally getting it. Yeah, it's not huge, and
Yeah,
no one's gonna like write home about it. But the fact that everyone's been asking for it forever, and we finally got it.
I mean, eventually I'm sure I'll check, like I'll go into my settings and I'll see it there and I'll adjust it, but like it's not at the top of
Yeah,
my
yeah, it's not
mind, it's
life changing or anything.
no, but it also does help. I would imagine if you're looking in your menus, if they're capped when you're in raid or something, right? Or are they uncapped in
Well,
raid?
it depends. I think what this is saying. I think this is basically
Specifically
saying
when
is
you're out of raid, like sitting in your stash doing stuff, talking to
yeah,
traders and shit. Yeah.
you you used to be limited to 60 FPS in the menus, and it was hard to find out how to get rid of that. I think what they're saying is now not only can you uncheck that, you can also go into your options at any time, and it's just all right there. Like it's easier to set, unlimited frames. Because Tarkov's frame options have always been kind of weird. Like if
Right.
you use VSync, it was like the opposite of VSync. You would have like unlimited frames, and then if you didn't use VSync, you would have VSync. It's always been backwards in Tarkov, and I
It
think this
has.
is kind
Yeah.
of them showing like, hey, we're finally fixing all that shit.
Which is good. Let's be realistic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, Several changes to the animation system and audio engine to improve PC resource usage. That one's big.
Another great one.
Yeah, that's really nice. I'm not sure what they
We all
did
know
to the
Tarkov's
animation system like entirely. I haven't been in to see
yeah,
it, but
but we all know Tarkov is a resource hog, and the biggest reason why it doesn't perform well is because of that. So this, along with other changes that they recently done and changes that are still coming, it all just points to better performance in
better
Tarkov,
performance.
which is great.
And we're seeing that,
Yeah,
even with the work we've already gotten, we've seen major
yeah,
improvements across all maps. Yeah, like Streets runs better, Interchange, everything runs better. The only thing I'm having an issue with, and I don't know if it's DLSS, I don't know what it is exactly, but I'll load into a raid and it's just choppy. Frames are okay. ADS frames tank. Like, it doesn't matter which way I'm looking, it doesn't matter what room I'm in, they just tank. Like down into the 40s if I stay ADS. The longer I'm ADS, the lower the frames drop. I need to put that in
yeah. I don't know,
Tarkov.Community. I don't know if that's been brought up or mentioned anywhere. I should at least
and
look
you
for it.
might. I don't know how long it's been, but you might just have to wipe Tarkov and wipe your NVIDIA, just because I know there's been bugs with both of them. NVIDIA drivers have been buggy as hell lately.
We just
I
did
had to wipe mine
quite a few
because
reinstalls recently.
I had to completely wipe it and start from scratch because I was having
Yeah,
so many weird issues.
interesting. Okay. Rework the architecture of post-raid systems to further reduce the time required to exit a raid and return to the menu. Another great change. As part of optimization efforts, an updated player calling system has been implemented on Lighthouse. On Lighthouse, Shoreline, Woods, and Ground Zero. The system will be introduced to the remaining locations in future updates. Implemented an
Okay.
iteration of environment, object, and geometry optimization for Streets of Tarkov to improve location
Um,
performance.
Real quick
Those,
on that one before that,
yeah, I was gonna say
the
those two
calling
things
system.
are fucking nice. Those are great changes.
They are, they're great. But I just want to point out because I've seen a lot of a lot of people ask like, what the hell's calling? Calling is basically whenever something is out of view, it is how much resources is used to
Keep it
basically
rendered
render.
for yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when you turn and
So
look, it's there and correct.
right. So I would imagine this is probably meaning like other PMCs and scavs and things aren't going to be as resource intensive as they used to be. So that's going
Yeah.
to be, more frames, better performance.
Yeah, it's all just pointing towards performance upgrades all the way around.
But yeah, I just want to say it because I've seen 3 or 4 different questions like, hey, what the fuck does that mean?
And I like how they say implemented an iteration of environment object and geometry optimization for Streets, just because that tells you that this could be a lower end of what they could potentially do. Um, and depending on how this runs, they can just tweak it again and tweak it again. Instead of saying like, "Oh, we fixed it," it's more like, "Oh, we're working on it." We're seeing, because I'm sure artistic reasons and other purposes, they don't want to dial back on a lot of the clutter and stuff that they've
Right.
added and the way things work and like how things are and the layouts and stuff. They don't want to change that. They designed it the way they designed it for a
Yeah.
reason.
It gives
But
Tarkov its own look and feel.
if they can have found a way, they can tweak it a little bit and dial things back lightly at a, time after time until they get to a point where it's running great. I think that's pretty okay. I think I'm okay with that.
Well, and if you notice a lot of the changes as far as like performance and just like uh system wide changes, a lot of those have all been in iterations. It's like a lot of the things they are doing seems to be just, piece by piece instead of like one big thing.
I'm excited to see how my lower end PC performs with all
That's what
these
I was
optimizations.
about to ask is have you noticed any changes just as of late with some of the performance changes we've had?
Well, not as of late. I haven't had, I haven't been into Streets or anything like that lately. The other maps seem to have run pretty well for me in the past, except for Streets. But, with running in Streets after the 1.0, I haven't had those crashes and stuff that I normally used to. Streets was just unplayable for me, even with the
Right.
low settings checked. The
Yeah,
low texture settings
you
checked
used
for
to struggle
Streets.
through it for sure. Yeah.
I
Well,
constant crashes and like, okay, well, I crashed again. Here goes another 5 minutes to try and get in and see if I'm alive or not. And
Right.
I wouldn't go to Streets. But now I can actually play Streets and shoot people and kill people, and it's enjoyable.
I was going to say, because since 1.0, the last 4 updates have all been performance targeted, especially for things like that. So I would imagine that, it's probably running a lot better for most people. And it even says right here in the middle of all this, it says, please
Yeah.
note that the impact of these changes will depend on your PC configuration and in game settings, which is obvious. But regardless, no matter what you play at, no matter what you play with, all these things are going to be a positive. Nobody should be running worse after this.
Yeah, I've
Yeah, that's the
noticed
thing
improvements.
is, yeah, all the way around the improvements seem to be just that, right? Like they are improvements. I don't think anybody's been complaining too much. I have had more random crashing. I will say that though. I would say every few raids I'm crashing out, and again, I don't know if it's a configuration issue. I don't know if it's a Windows security issue with the Battlepass shit again. Um, I don't know, right? But something
If
is
I had to
going
guess, I
on,
would
and
guess
I'm
it's
pretty
Nvidia because, like I
consistently
said,
crashing.
their drivers have been fucked, honestly. And I've used Nvidia graphics cards for majority of my life, and never have I had the issues that I've had over the last few months with drivers. Never. So
Yeah.
it's been serious.
Well, maybe I should check Nvidia and reset that too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. It
that's a
might.
tech tip for you guys. There you go. Adam's always
Yeah.
putting on game for putting you guys on game.
Yeah. Use DDU, display driver uninstaller. It will find all drivers, new and old, graphic drivers, that is, on your PC, and it'll wipe them clean. And then you can start from scratch. And that's the best way to do it. It just it gets rid of everything, so you're not sitting there with a bunch of old shit interfering with the new shit.
What website should
It's
they
not
download from?
it's not for sure like you have to do it that way, but that is the best way. Uh
Guru?
you can use Guru 3D. Yeah, that's a
There you
legit
go.
site. But just to be safe, no matter where you get it from, if you want to run it through Windows antivirus, just it don't take but 2 seconds just to make sure.
Right.
Because this is another thing. As of late, there have been some malicious files getting through on sites like this, where they actually are disguising themselves as legit drivers and legit programs. I believe it was hardware. Uh, what was it? Hardware Informer I can't remember. There's like 2 or 3 programs that are common on PCs that actually had malicious code in them the last couple weeks. They have been fixed, but it is something that seems to be on the rise to watch out for.
It's good to know.
There's a new way they can write them where it's not detected until you actually go in and install it. Then it somehow is in the system. So yeah, just
Yeah.
be careful.
Good to know. Yeah, absolutely. Continuing on though, they've introduced a task progression protection system in local PvE raids in case of unexpected client shutdowns. If the game closes
That's big.
unexpectedly, task progress will now revert to the state at the start of the raid.
That's big, but I wonder
So,
why it's only in PvE. That should be in both game modes.
yeah, why is it only in PvE? Is it something that's only happening
Well, that's what I was going to say.
in
Unless this was
local?
already implemented in PvP and it's just
But
now
possibly,
getting,
yeah.
yeah,
It's
because that's
specifically
what it
only
seems
in
like.
local as well. It's probably just something that's not working in local, is what it sounds like.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Where it's local servers, it's probably something that was only on local servers, so it didn't affect PvP. So yeah, that's probably it.
Probably, yeah. Updated the left. This I like this one. Updated the left shoulder firing stance logic. Switching to the right shoulder will no longer happen instantly when colliding with obstacles. Instead, the weapon will continue moving for a short period without changing stance. That's good. I like
Nice.
that because like
Yeah.
the reason I'm left hand leaning is to take the angle, and a lot of the times that's in a doorway or a hallway, and sometimes I'm out far enough or tucked into an area enough. As soon as I hit a box, I'm switching to my right, and I'm like, okay, well, that defeats the purpose of what I'm doing. So
Yeah.
that's always bothered me a good bit. Here's the fun one though. Updated the KD display and character stats. It now counts player kills only, though it does count deaths to scavs, right?
Yeah. It's every
Well,
death.
death to
ver-
AI. Yeah, it
Yeah.
tracks every
Yeah.
death versus your PMC kills. Which is, I mean, I guess how it should be, right? Like every death matter.
Yeah.
Like that's
It's something people have been asking for forever, because you could obviously KD farm by just going and killing a bunch
killing
of
scavs.
scavs, and
Yeah,
it
it
would,
was too easy.
jump your KD like crazy. Um, I think this is really the only way you can do it. And I know Gray Zone does it in a similar way, but I think Gray Zone actually makes it where anytime you die to a player or kill a player, is it separate KD, and then
That's
you
what I
have
think it should
just
be.
versus
Yeah,
the AI. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you
A
have both
world KD and a
displayed.
PvP KD.
Yeah, it would be nice to be able to see both, but this is still better than what it was. And I know a lot of us are now looking at our KD like, oh shit, nowhere near what it used to be.
Yeah, I was sitting at a 5 something KD roughly, 4 something, 5 something. I'm pretty sure it was on the 5. Um, and then today my PvP KD is a 0.75 or something, 0.74, 0.73, something like that.
I went from baby Chad to Timmy.
Well, I had finished wipes before with like a 15 plus
Yeah,
KD.
yeah.
And it's like that I knew was obviously majority of scavs, but now being able to actually see, because I think before this I haven't played Tarkov in a while, but I'm pretty sure my KD was sitting at like a 9. And now when I go look at it today, it's at like a 1.25. So getting to actually see the real shit is actually nice for once.
It is, it is. It tells me a lot about the way I play Tarkov and what I should be doing.
Yeah. Well, and Tarkov's one of those games where you're never going to have a like crazy KD, and that's why it always felt so wrong, is because we knew that none of us really had that KD. But it's just the kind of game Tarkov is. You're not getting like fair one-on-one fights or two-on-two
No,
fights. You're getting
no.
just crazy shit all the time. So you're going
Yeah.
to have those deaths that are just like
You got
you had
pinched,
no
you
way
got
to
pushed, you
control it.
died to a boss,
Yeah, yeah,
partisan
nothing you could have
tripwire,
done.
random grenade,
Yeah,
impact grenade, fucking campers,
and
bush campers, extract campers,
then on top of that, you
chads.
also have crazy ass players. Yeah, some Chads,
Yeah,
some just insane players. So it's like you're going to lose fights to them. You're going to lose fights to just crazy shit. So it's going to be impossible to have like an insane KD unless you are one of those crazy ass Chads who wins, 90% of their fights. But
I would assume that a lot of these high KDs we're gonna see now are gonna be labs mains.
well, and that's the other thing. You can still farm your KD a little bit, and that would be by just basically not engaging AI. If you don't
Yeah,
engage AI and you never take those deaths and you only are, dying to when you do PvP, it's going to look a lot better than those people who are dying in other situations.
yeah. Well, also just being slower and like more consistent with like your shots you're taking and like thinking it out a little bit more instead of like if you
Yeah.
care about your stats like that, right? Like you could
Yeah.
absolutely just turn into pretty much a much slower player and kind of just pick and choose when you fight. Kind of like how we used to play, or we do play, I guess. Just
But
trying to get optimal fights and optimal shots.
I think this is also going to kind of get rid of the, PvP competition as far as like, oh, I got the higher PvP
Right.
KD or I got the higher PvP. I think people are just not going to care as much now because most people are going to be a sub 1 KD. And it's like when you're already there, you don't really care as much because it's like you don't
Right.
have that
Right.
15 KD that you're trying to keep going. I think this is just going to help people not worry about it.
Yeah, it's only up from here, and if it goes down, who cares? Like it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter.
Tarkov's not the kind of game where you're, trying to, have like a KD like you do in COD, where
Yeah.
every fight is against another player. So you're comparing yourself to other people. And this, depending on your play style, your KD is going to be wildly different than somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah. And there definitely are people out there with crazy IKDs that like PMC fight constantly,
Yeah, for sure.
that only shoot scavs that are in their direct path.
Yeah, like Willers. I was watching Willers earlier, and it's like Willers walking through the mall for 30 seconds does more crazy shit than I do in a fucking year. Like
Yeah, probably.
he
Yeah,
is just nut.
he is one of those PvPers for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
him and like Desmond or No Generals. These guys that amongst all the non-streamers and content creators.
yeah, yeah,
There's a shit ton of just really cracked players out here that just put in work on PMCs, and
yeah.
that's the
There's
case for
aliens.
any game, right? So,
Yeah.
um,
Some people are just gamers, man. It's like they are
it's
just
true.
gamers. No matter what
Yeah,
game they touch, they just dominate. They have an extra sense that most of us don't have.
Tony's one of those gamers, dude.
Yeah.
Ultra
Oh, I
Chad.
don't know, man.
Right.
That's my
I
carry.
hear no generals in a game. I'm running the opposite way.
So you can like hit him with a like weird angle or something. I get that. I get that.
Exactly. You know where to set up at the extract.
Yeah,
Wait for him. Extract camp.
easy work. Easy work.
Just throw
Like,
my
no
gun
generals
down
in
at
here.
his feet.
Run to
Yeah.
extract. I can kill
Yeah.
his ass.
I'll be like, here's your tax, man. Here's my gun. Here, what else you want from my? No,
Yeah.
just my tags. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I tell you what this is going to do though. Also, this is also going to like it's not going to be a big deal, but some of the people who kind of fake their way as being like some of the best players that might play on some dead ass servers where they never really PvP, but they, are playing PvP, but people think, man, these guys are just great.
Right.
It's
The
going to
fucking
kind of
server
expose that a
hoppers
little
and
bit.
shit. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
It's going to expose that.
Which
No more going to
like I said,
Colombia.
Whew, I got some things to say about those server hoppers. Like, just go play PvE, dog. Like, if you're really that
exactly. You're
concerned
playing
about getting your
PvE.
shit done in one run, just go play PvE.
I think
It's
it's the same
just,
as like people that cheat.
is it just
I
like
mean, not the
completionist
same.
shit and like ego
Well,
shit? Is that what it is? Like, oh, I gotta get this done first. I gotta be first. I gotta get this done. I gotta get this done. You know, like,
I think there's just some people who they love the tension of knowing that another player could be in the raid, but they also love the idea of having as few as possible in there to where they know if they kill one or two, there's probably nobody else in there. Like there are still good players that could be like that and they could kill the whole lobby and they know they killed the whole lobby because they're on a dead server. But
right,
at the same time, it's like that's still going to be more exciting than playing PvE because you do know there's always that chance. But you also know you're
right.
making the game way easier. You know what I mean? You also know it is easier. So
But it's such a
it
cop out, man. It's such a
it's
cop
weird.
out.
Yeah. It's
I'd
weird.
feel
And that's the
weird.
thing. I know there's people that do that. I know there's been streamers that have done that for
Oh,
years.
dude, yeah,
And
110%. There
I
are
was told
sorry,
way too many
Stony, I
players
didn't mean
that
to
do
cut you
that.
off.
No. You're good. You're good. I feel weird about it because I was told, yeah, just go fucking go hop. I'm like,
Yeah,
it feels dirty. It
it
feels
is
dirty.
dirty.
I'm not
Yeah.
playing the game as it was meant to be played.
Well,
Yeah, I'll put that out for players. Like, if somebody wants to do it, sure, go ahead. I think less of you if you do it, but I mean, like, it's whatever. It's not a big deal. I just think it's a cop out. Like,
there's a
I want to
time and a
do the
place.
guide on PvP on an NAE server. I want to do Psycho Sniper on an NAE server. I want congestion. I want it to be a challenge. I don't want the game to be easy, or I'd go play fucking Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
We got into this game for the challenge, not.
Yeah, exactly. The difficulty of Tarkov on a full server, or even just a mostly full server, is the challenge of Tarkov. Like, that's what it's there for. That's
Yeah.
why PvP is like the game mode that has my heart. You know what I mean?
And
PvE
you
is
can't
fun
I
to a point, but it's not the
well,
same.
I get
It's
the
just not
appeal
the same.
though of less, like still playing PvP. I get the appeal of that because there's been times where I thought that like there should be less players. Like when you run into 3 people off spawn, I've personally thought, hey, this would be a better time if I could make it out of spawn, or I didn't run into 5 people, and you know
Yeah,
what I mean.
but I mean, like, not one or two other players
No.
only.
That's what I'm saying. There's a middle ground. It's like I understand the thought of it. Like Tarkov can be great with less players, but not when you're purposefully making it as minimal as possible.
Yeah,
Like
it's just
I've just thought
exploiting.
Tarkov should change some maps. Like you shouldn't have people spawning all together. So it's like there are
Drop the
times
player
where I
count by
get it.
like 2 and spread the spawns out. Yeah, like it'd be fine.
Yeah. That's the answer. The answer isn't to server hop to a dead server because,
No.
like we said, at that point you're playing PVE. So
Yeah. And you're just exploiting. It's just like, okay, cool. And like, sure, I get it. It's a feature, right? It's there. You can change
yeah,
servers. I just don't agree with it to complete hard tasks. That's why they're hard tasks, is because they're meant to be completed. It is what it is.
but
It's not a big deal.
that's the beauty
I
of
know I'm
Tarkov,
raining,
though.
so
Yeah, is people if they really want to do it, they can. We don't enjoy it or condone it, but
right. And we don't have to
if you
do it. That's
do,
the beauty of it.
yeah,
Yeah, like
if
good
you
on you.
do, you can.
I know countless people that do it and are like, yeah, I support it. I'm for it. I'm with it. I think it's great.
I
And good
won't
on you.
say, but we
No,
certain
I won't throw
streamers
people into
I've
the
had.
name. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
putting
I've
people's
had
name out there.
suspicions about it for years, and I could watch them play and then go play, and I could never figure out why my game was so much different than theirs. I was like, wait a
Yeah,
minute, they just
they're
ran
just
through,
running
didn't
through and
stop,
yeah,
flashlight laser on, shooting every scav, run right up into the marked room, and then extract without fighting a single player. Okay, I'll try that. I'm running into a team off spawn,
yeah, I'll
and then when I get
spawn.
to the fucking dorms, there's 3 more teams there. Like, it
Yeah,
doesn't work like that for me.
yeah, and
So
that's every
I always
raid.
knew
Like,
something was up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's 100% factual. Yeah, strongly disagree with it. I think that you should be region locked personally. You can choose to, I don't even know. That's the thing. It's like, oh, well, I want to play with my friends. I want to play with my friends in Australia sometimes, or I want to play with my friends in
That's the thing.
Russia
They've
or
messed with
wherever.
it. They had a very tight wrench on it for a while to where you could not, like, I think your ping could not be over 120 or something like that. And
Yep,
everybody
yep.
was bitching because a lot of people could not play with their friends anymore. And then you had a lot of streamers from other countries couldn't play on US servers anymore where all their friends were. So like it caused some issues, but at the same time, it basically was
Kept
good
everybody where they're
for,
supposed to be. Yeah, kept them on the
yeah, it was
server so
good
the
for the,
population stays up.
yeah, that kind of stuff. But then you can't really say this about everybody because you do have people who live in certain regions where there really isn't a lot of players. So it's like they're
Right,
forced to
there's
play.
levels to it. There are levels
Yeah,
to it.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not as that's why it's not such a simple fix as just region lock or, keep people from being able to hop servers and, lower ping and things like that.
Well, because then people get VPNs, like they find ways around it. Like you can
Yeah,
spoof
yeah,
your
it's
ping.
always right. And it's just like it's just one of those things. It's in the game.
Yeah.
It is an option. It's there. If you're stuck on a low population server, typically you would server hop to somewhere so you can get into action, but it's the opposite.
Well, the main reason we were talking about this still stands true. This update with the KD display is going to kind of show when you do that now. It's not going to be as easy to look so good because now your stats are not going to be good because you run around and kill scavs only.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I a drastic drop in my KD. Like, I did not expect to go that low. I told Adam before we got in, I was like, I'm expecting around a 2 KD. Like, I gotta be
Yeah, you
like,
did. It's like
I focus mainly on PMC fights, but no, I don't.
I was guessing similar to Arena was what I was guessing, but
Yeah,
I was thinking worse than Arena because, like I said, Arena, you know
true. It's
where
nothing
every
but
fight is.
PMCs. Like, everything's
Yeah,
PvP
yeah.
fights.
So yeah, all it is just you fighting other players, and then Tarkov is you fighting other players and the environment. So
Right.
it's probably going to be worse for most people.
It's a fair point. It's a very fair point. But yeah, the KD display is interesting. Check it out. Let us know what your KD is and how much it dropped from where you were. We've got new character customization options. Gear and weapons from Season 2 of EFT Arena have been added to the ref's assortment. And then we get into some balancing changes. And we do have more work on our weapon modding. So with this update, the second phase of weapon module changes has been implemented in EFT and EFT Arena. This time, barrels and handguards have been affected. Muzzle devices and stocks were further adjusted based on the first iteration. Barrels follow the same principle as before. Longer barrels provide greater recoil reduction but impose higher ergo. And changes were made to standardize parameters and make them clearer, and make the choice between short and long barrels more meaningful. Handguards no longer reduce recoil. Their role is now to offset ergo penalties. Muzzle devices were further refined following the first iteration. Suppressors and their combinations with compensators now reduce ergonomics more and affect recoil less. Suppressors are out the fucking door, boys. Put them away. Get rid of them. You don't need them. Hopefully,
Except for one thing, muzzle flash is still an issue.
muzzle flash. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Hopefully, we
Sorry,
see changes. Well, no, I mean you're right though. It's what it is. They do
they talk
say,
about that in the next thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
these changes are intended to further increase the popularity of unsuppressed weapon builds. Clearly, adjustments to muzzle flash are planned for future updates. Cool. Maybe by, in this next couple weeks, once we get to the icebreaker patch, that's where we'll see that adjusted. Maybe we
yeah.
get
I,
actual, flash hiders, which would be great.
I will say because just not playing Tarkov as much, I have recently just been looking around like at streamers and just seeing what they're running. Everybody's still running suppressors.
I'm not. I
All
run
the
them
big streamers
on
are still
bolt
running
actions,
suppressors.
Yeah, and it makes sense. It's the noise reduction.
Yeah.
The stats don't
Well,
matter enough.
they claim it's for muzzle flash. Most of them have said muzzle
Well,
flash
yeah,
is so
that's fair too.
bad that you can't see your character, you can't see your target when you start shooting. So running the suppressor makes it where you can still see
Well,
people.
that's why I pretty much religiously only run the Blitz 556 or the 556 Blitz. Just because it's like um it actually reduces muzzle flash. Like you can see over it pretty clearly. Like, and it's a pretty solid piece, I'm not gonna lie. But overall we just don't have enough muzzle flash or flash
No.
hiders.
And when they do that future where they adjust it in the future, that's really you're going to see the big difference where you can actually run whatever you want and without, really hurting yourself as far as like visually seeing the enemy.
Right. Stony, how do you feel on suppressors versus unsuppressed?
I I've been using suppressors for the reason that everybody else does, is the muzzle flash. Just because my monitor is absolutely atrocious. It's like from 2011. So motherfucker, when that flashes, it's flashing.
You said there, yeah,
But
flashing yourself, yeah.
yeah, I'm flashbanging every time, and
Right.
but I have been running loud a lot lately. Just not. I've been enjoying the game a lot more with these with the more that they've been implementing patches and stuff. I find
For sure, yeah.
just having more fun with it. Less
Yeah,
less uptight about things. Less. I'm like, whatever, dude. This is a permanent character. Fucking ball out.
right.
Yeah.
That does really play into the way you play Tarkov too, is like how you feel towards your time that you have left in the wipe. I notice myself getting into it still, even on the permanent character. I'm getting close to escape, I'm getting close to prestige, all these things. But I was like, oh, I gotta get it done. I gotta get it done. I gotta get it done. I want to get it done before seasonal, but it's like realistically, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter if I get it done. It doesn't matter when I get it done, as long as I get it done. I'm close
Nope.
enough
They're
now.
permanent now for the first time
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, and it's hard to get used to that feeling and that flow,
It
It's
is.
like I know
We've never
seasonal
had that
characters are
before.
coming up and I'm gonna have a wiping character again, so I'll have things
People
to
are
grind
still
for.
asking when we're gonna wipe. When's the
Yeah,
wipe coming?
right.
Yeah.
But like,
It's hard to even picture that Tarkov has permanent characters.
I
Like
mean,
I
for how
still
many
forget
years?
the
How many
existence
years
of
did they?
Tarkov.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. So it's like
forever. 10 years, a decade long.
Yeah.
definitely a hard concept to grasp.
A decade long, at least twice per year has been the normal schedule, and it's like,
Sometimes 3.
yeah.
It's weird. It's weird to just think like the stuff I'm doing right now, I could come back to in 6 months and still be doing it. It's kind
I
of
think this
cool. It's
time
kind of
next
freeing, but
year,
it's hard to get in the feeling of it.
we're all going to have such a better feel about that and, knowing more about what to expect to where I
For
think we're
sure.
all going to be so much more used to the new, the new thing.
Yeah, how the systems work and everything runs, it'll feel way more comfortable.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that we'll be able to jump around though, and just complete objectives on one for specific rewards, and then still be able to prestige and escape and everything. Like that's cool. But
Yeah.
continuing on with the changes to firearms, these changes are intended to further increase the popularity of unsuppressed weapon builds, adjustments to muzzle flash, planned for future updates. Butt stocks received minor adjustments, mainly addressing inaccuracies and issues from the first iteration. Here's the big one.
Yeah.
Base characteristics of many weapons have been updated to better align with the new balance. Recoil and ergonomics have been improved for the following weapons. And for this, we have all of the AK, AKM, and AK-100 series weapons. The AUG A1 and A3. The HKG 36 and 416A5. The FN SCAR L and SCAR H. The SIG MCX Spear and MCX 300 Blackout. Excuse me. The CMMG MK47 Mutant and the Rifle Dynamics RD704. The Atlas Defense Velociraptor. All LMGs, all bolt action and marksman rifles chambered in 7.62 54R, 338, and 50 BMG.
Huge
And
change.
yeah, I'm excited to see how these look and how they feel and get into some new weapon builds and start testing pieces and parts. Not because like base characteristics changed. So ergo, recoil, sighting range, all that stuff potentially changed. MOAs, things like that potentially changed. Handguards, butt stocks, muzzle devices, barrels, all these things matter more now.
Well, it said on all
And it's
these, the only thing that changed was the recoil and the ergo have been improved on every one of those.
true. It does say, yeah.
Yeah. Recoil and ergo have been improved for the following. So I assume it might be different. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they tweaked other things too, and maybe it's just mainly recoil and ergo. But like you said, with all the new parts changes too, this is
Right.
like new weapons, basically. Most
Pretty
of this
much.
shit is like new weapons.
Yeah. Like you get to redo so many builds. So if you're confused on what kind of builds to put together, what you might want to run, this, that, and the other, definitely check out the channel. We are going to be posting
You're gonna have to
plenty of gun
redo
builds.
weapon builds. You're
Yeah,
gonna have to
we'll have
redo even the
updated
ones you've done.
M4s, AKs, all of it. Everything on this list will be rebuilt. So get ready for
Yeah.
that. That'll be fun.
Yep.
Now we have the fixes, and this is it for Escape from Tarkov. We go through these fixes, and after that, the big patch was on Arena. Fixed the issue where dead players and bots could appear to move visually in certain cases. Fixed an issue where damage would not register after a weapon malfunction if the player had previously used a stationary weapon. Here's the one I'm excited for. One of the ones. Fix the cause of error 228 during trader dialogues that could block task progression. I've heard so many people complain about that. I'm glad to see it fixed. Fixes to the calling system, calling, shadows, textures, and location geometry. An issue where armor could not be picked up if it was dropped while interacting with the modification window. Incorrect behavior of PMC bots toward player scavs with fence rep 6 or higher in PvE zones. Fixed an issue preventing further progression in the labyrinth after spawning in the room, requiring a burner tool to exit. That's a weird one.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Pretty
spawned in the
specific.
burner tool room. You're not getting
Yeah.
past
Like, oh, you're
this.
done.
So happy that didn't happen when I was spawned in there.
Dude, same.
Yeah.
Same. Fix the incorrect display of smoke grenades in the player's hands if another player threw a smoke grenade at them.
Okay.
What? Wait. Fix the incorrect display of smoke grenades in the player's hands if another player threw a smoke grenade at
Yeah.
them.
So if you're holding a smoke grenade, and someone throws a smoke grenade at you, it
It fucked
messes up
yours
how it
up.
looks in
Yeah.
your hands.
That's crazy.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, it's just funny.
That's weird. Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. Fix the display of changes in the combat skill leveling boost field in the Hall of Fame hideout zone. When one dog tag was Fix the display of changes in the combat skill leveling boost field in the Hall of Fame hideout zone when one dog tag was replaced with another of a similar level. Sure.
Okay, oh, I get it. The boost you would get from displaying the dog tags if you swapped one out, it wasn't updating. Got it.
Oh, got it. Okay. Fixed an issue where post FX settings would not display when preview was enabled. Fixed an issue where some players could get stuck in the secret safe room on interchange without a way to exit.
I've seen that.
I
I've seen
have
that both
not. That's
ways where people
funny as
got.
fuck.
I've seen people get locked out and locked in.
Damn. That's funny. I haven't
Like the
seen
door
that.
would even be open, but you just could not walk through or out.
Now that was what was happening at Lexos for me there. That raid or two, I had tried to go in for my task. You just couldn't go
Yeah,
in the door. It didn't matter. Yeah.
I've seen a few different clips of just people like having the same issue.
That's funny though. No, I didn't know that was a thing. Um, Fix the incorrect display of stationary weapons used by bots in multiple cases where bots could float while using them. I didn't see that either. Fix multiple issues with incorrect behavior of loot and gear items when dropped in raid. The display of current movement, noise level, and stance heights during raids. The third-person animation for inspecting your own inventory. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see the
Nice.
bots holding LMGs, stationary weapons, and floating. I did not know that was a thing either.
The only time I've seen that was like basically if you have uh them standing there on an LMG, they would like hover off the ground. Not like a lot, but like, 2 or 3 inches. They would just like be hovering. I have seen that, but it was never like something I thought, oh God, they need to fix that. I just thought it was
Yeah,
just,
kind of goofy.
yeah.
Yeah. I
So I don't
mean,
know if that's what they're talking about or not.
probably that would probably be the case. So, with those patch notes in mind, do you still think we're only a month away or less from Icebreaker or
Yeah,
further out?
absolutely. I think you can tell by on the roadmap, they had 2 patches shown. They had patch 1.0.4 and then they had 1.0.5. This is the in between patch because this is the 1.0.4.5, which wasn't even shown. So that tells me this is obviously just a middle ground patch, just in between big patch. So I would say this is just setting up the next patch, which is hopefully within the next 2 to 4 weeks.
I think that's a pretty safe guess. I
If they stick to
personally.
their timetable, like
Right.
we looked at before, that's what it says. So, and it's number wise, it's all adding up. I really believe this probably put in a lot of the foundation of Icebreaker. It was probably snuck in on the back end. And
Right.
then the big patch
Yeah.
1.0.5 is probably, just right around the corner.
Yeah, that's what all those optimizations are telling me, honestly. They're ironing things out so that when they do bring in that icebreaker, it's not
Right.
gonna be like game crashing and
Well, and they always have hidden things. Ever since they started doing big events, there's always been a beginning of the event stuff in the patch before the actual event.
Mhm.
So, and like I said, timetable wise, patch note version wise, number wise, everything adds up to the very next patch is going to be the big one. And the timetable wise shows it's going to be soon.
Yeah, I
So,
think it's pushing right towards it, right?
Well, and they haven't been shy about if they are running behind, they haven't been
Right.
shy about redoing the roadmap and being like, listen, we're behind. We're going
This
to
is
show a
getting
new
pushed back.
roadmap.
There's no way around it. Yeah.
Yeah, how many times did we get a roadmap change from last year to this year? Like 3 or 4 different times.
3,
So,
yeah, a few, yeah, for sure.
yeah. So I feel like if they were off uh target, if they
Schedule
weren't
like
going to
they were,
meet,
yeah.
yeah, they would have said something.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Um, but we know that they said also, like, season 2 for Arena's gonna drop, and then shortly after that, and I don't know if shortly was the exact word, but it summed up to shortly. Shortly after
Well,
that, we'll get the Icebreaker event, the big event.
look at 1.0. We all
Right.
thought 1.0 was going to drop with the season 1 battle pass, but it didn't. We got the season 1 battle pass a couple weeks before we got 1.0. And it was like, kind of weird. Everyone's like, well, Arena just got this brand new big update, but Tarkov didn't wipe. And it's like, oh, a couple weeks later, Tarkov wiped 1.0 hit. So I think it's basically the same thing again. We're getting the 2.0, which basically gives everybody time to go play Arena, do what they want on Arena right before everyone's going to be back on Tarkov for the new shit. And it's exactly what they did with 1.0 and Arena. So
It
it
is,
it
it is,
falls
yeah.
perfectly in line.
Right. Well, speaking of Arena, it also got a massive patch setting up season 2. It brought in season 2. So let's take a look at that real quick and go over some of the stuff that it's doing. There is a lot, and the rewards in the battle pass and the tactical map are pretty sick. Not gonna lie. Some of the camos that we get this wipe or this go around on Arena are gnarly. Like, I really like a lot of them. They look really good.
Well, one of the biggest things is this patch brings Arena on par with Tarkov 1.0. All the new shit that came with 1.0 as far as weapons, accessories, any kind of gear, it is all now getting added to Arena, which is great.
Yeah, I mean this is a massive. I'm scrolling through it now just so you can see how much we have to go through here. Now, granted, we're not going to touch on everything just because it's too much. The first thing I want to get to is the transition to Unity 6. So down almost to the bottom, 3/4 of the way down, we get, I think it goes into Russian a little bit. Whatever this says, fixes probably. Transition to Unity 6. Improved performance and overall client stability. Fixed a number of issues from the previous Unity version. Unlocked potential for further performance optimization and graphical improvements. So I'm excited for it. I haven't gotten to play any matches, so I don't know how smooth it's running. I don't know exactly what's going on with it, but it seems good.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
That's a pretty
That's
huge
gonna
jump from Unity 23 or 22 to fucking
yeah,
Unity 6 is massive.
that's current. Yeah, that's current. The
Yeah,
current
that's
latest
all caught
Unity.
up. Yeah.
And this also tells us that they're doing what they kind of said they were going to do, which was use Arena kind of as a test ground for
Exactly.
things that was going to be added into Tarkov. So that's just basically like we're getting this ready. We're going to try an Arena, and then it'll eventually, probably with the
It
big
just kind of
update, it'll
confirms
probably
the
get added.
timelines too, you know, it just shows like
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
on schedule, they're tracking where they
yeah.
want to be.
And that also
Um,
like it makes sense that the next big update for Tarkov is going to be Unity 6, seasonal characters, Icebreaker. I think it's all coming at once, and I think this
yeah,
is
it's a
showing that.
massive fucking patch, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go over the fixes and then we'll go up and look at some of the stuff they've changed. They've fixed the incorrect third-person leg animation after respawn. I never had it, but I have seen people talking about it. Fixed the incorrect armband collar display on the end of match screen. I don't know why that even matters, but they fixed it. Fixed the music looping when exiting the tactical map. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Reduce the MVP volume when interface sounds and music are disabled. That's cool because it was loud. Fixed an issue where allied armbands turned red when covered in blood. Okay, I knew it. I knew that was happening, dude. I knew I wasn't shooting friendlies on purpose. I used to think it was because they were capturing the objective and the light was changing it to red, but no, they had red armbands. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. I mean, sure, I do shoot friendlies sometimes. We all, we make our mistakes.
Right.
But like there were
It's nice to
plenty of
know that
times.
wasn't always on purpose.
Yeah, there were plenty of times where I would see red and shoot, like just naturally.
Yeah, just
Uh,
it wasn't always your fault. Sometimes you were legitimately shooting the enemy, but it was your actual team.
right. Stony's been hit a few times. He's taken some
More than I
strays.
care to admit.
Yeah. He's also passed out a few strays, so
Yeah.
it's arena. It's happening. It goes down pretty frequently.
So much footsteps. You don't know who's who.
Right.
You're on edge. You shoot first and you ask questions later.
Yeah, you'll
It's hard
respawn.
not to in some situations.
It's usually the right call is just shoot first. Fixed unnatural shine on some painted weapon mods when SSR is enabled. Pretty cool. Fixed the character teleportation when another player disconnects during a match. That's actually pretty good.
What?
So when you're running around, when there's a player disconnecting and reconnecting, every now and then you'll like teleport. You'll like jump 10 feet or like, you know what I mean?
Holy crap.
Yeah. Fix the missing achievements in the career section. That's cool. Fix the incorrect connection lost banner display before match start during network issues. Fix the missing announcer voice line at point A in checkpoint mode on Fort. Fix the bullet hole persistence on targets after re-entering the shooting range. Fix the incorrect announcer volume at checkpoint or at point B in checkpoint mode on bowl. Minor UI fixes in tutorial mission and various other fixes. Pretty good stuff. Nothing that really screams like, oh, that had to get fixed, but like definitely some good stuff to clean up. So here are some things happening that I don't know how I feel about. Disabling unpopular locations. They have disabled the least popular locations in certain game modes. Teamfight has lost Fort, Block, Skybridge, and Air Pit. Crazy. Last Hero has lost Bowl, Air Pit, Skybridge, and Block. I liked Last Hero on Block, and I liked Last Hero on Skybridge. I also really liked Block, Teamfight, Skybridge, and Air Pit. it's a
I
shame that
was gonna
those are
say I
all
even liked
disabled.
Air Pit,
Air
but
Pit was great.
I
I
get it
didn't like
because
last year of
nobody
Air
would.
Pit, but
Well, nobody would choose them. Like even if
dude,
you
I
had
set
them,
in
nobody would
queue.
ever.
Yeah, well, the other day I was trying to play matches on maps that I don't get to play because I typically just go like Bay 5, Chop Chop, stuff like that. So I was like, I want to play maps I never play. So I queued Block and Skybridge. I think even Air Pit. And I sat in queue for at least 13 to 14 minutes before I was just like, all right, we're not getting anywhere. We're backing out. I wouldn't be surprised if I sat there for 20, 30 minutes before anything happened.
Yeah, I believe
But
it. I've tried it too, where I
I'm
only
always,
selected maps
yeah,
that I never play just to try to get
right.
them, and you would never get a game.
Never. Yeah. I just don't like sunsetting things, you know? But whatever.
Well,
Maybe we can get like limited
here's
time modes where they reopen the maps to kind of bring popularity back to them a bit.
here's the other option: get rid of map selecting and just rotate.
Yeah.
That would be a thing they could do, maybe for
But
certain
I know
game
it's
modes.
unpopular.
Well,
I was
maybe
gonna say
on
I know
certain
it's
game modes, like
unpopular.
I think Blast Gang and Teamfight should be on a rotating. You shouldn't be able to pick and choose which map you want to play. You should just put it on rotation. I think Last
I
Hero
agree.
kind of like, you know what? I think I'm for it. I think it's just fine. It is what it is. You should have
I,
map flexibility and you should learn every location. That's
I
just
like that
yeah.
idea,
playing
and
the
I
game.
hate
Yeah.
a lot of the maps on here.
Yeah, but
Well,
the reason I hate them is because I suck on them.
Yeah.
and that's the other thing is if you go to map flexibility, then you can just actually take surveys and find out like what
What the
people
real
dislike
issues
about
are
each
and
map,
yeah.
yeah, what the problems are, and then either adjust the maps or take ones out that really are hated. But I feel
Yeah,
like
take
a
them out
lot
and
of these
rebuild something
maps
else.
you never even get a try because by the time you start playing arena, the community have already decided that no one's going to play those maps. So anybody who started arena in the last year have not even played 75% of the other maps in these modes because you can't get a game. So I hate how you're locked out of maps that you might really enjoy just because majority of people have already decided that they're not the best maps.
No, that's a really good point too. I didn't really think about players that hadn't even got to experience these maps.
Yeah.
Because they are good. They, in my opinion, like Skybridge, Air Pit, Block. I don't care about Fort too much for team fight, but
Well, and
I
here's
don't
the
really care
thing,
for Bowl either. But those, it's just because I'm not good on those maps. You know what I mean? It's just if I learn them, I'm better and like get good at it.
well, the second part of it is the community gravitates to a few because once you do start playing, you learn that you can only get a game on a few. So it's not
Right.
really like everybody hates these maps.
It's
It's
just you don't
everyone
get
knows
the
if they
chance
want
to
to get
play
a
them.
game,
Right.
exactly. If they want to get a game, that's the only maps people are playing on. And eventually it just funnels everybody into one or two maps. And that's not because of the play on the maps, it's because everybody wants to play a game. They don't want to sit in queue.
Right. Right. Exactly.
And like you said, I think if you did an event, like bring some of the maps back for an event or have certain playlists that are rotation. Just
Yeah. Yeah.
something that gives them some value because they are good maps. I just hate to see work they've done because they've put a lot of maps into arena that are just gone now. And it's like
Right.
I hate seeing
It's a
that.
shame. I do too.
Yeah.
And knowing that it's a simple fix for, okay, players don't like playing these maps or don't get to play these maps for whatever reason, and we could just put it on a rotation. And if players genuinely dislike it after rotating through the maps a few times, they're like, man, this map sucks, this map's shit, whatever, I hate it. And you like you said, you put a survey out, you get that information within a month. And from there, you're just good to go, right? Like you have what you need
Yeah.
to know. You can either adjust and fix the map, or you can just move on. Like it's not a big deal. But to
Yeah.
remove them is a shame. But moving on to more positive notes, a second phase of Escape from Tarkov and EFT Arena weapon mod rebalancing has been carried out. The goal is to reduce the gap in performance between popular high tier mods and less used options. Parameters for most weapon mods have been adjusted, including again, muzzle devices, magazines, grips, stocks, barrels, and handguards. So everything that we just went over for base game Tarkov has been brought and current to EFT Arena, which Arena had been behind for a while. So to
Yeah.
me, I'm extremely happy that all these mods, all these parts, all these pieces, all these rebalancing, all these changes are finally current. So my build on base game for this specific gun, we'll say the AUG A1 or A3, whatever. I'm just picking one off the list down here. We'll say my AUG A3 build that I run on Tarkov that I love, that I know is like a good build. I can have the same build on Arena, and the stats are consistent with each other, and they perform the same. So that's just great, in my opinion. I like the way that they're doing it. I'm glad these things are caught up.
Yeah,
So
because Arena didn't even have the first iteration of the
no,
weapon balancing, did it?
no,
So the fact it's
everything just
getting
got
like
introduced right now.
version 2, that's great.
Muzzle devices, magazines, grips, and stocks were first iteration, and then muzzle devices, barrels, handguards were this one, or barrels and
Yeah,
handguards were this one.
I'm kind of surprised because the way it had been
Barrels,
going
handguards,
is Tarkov would get it,
and grips.
then Arena would get it, and it looks like they just said skip that first iteration and
Yeah,
just
just
get
put
them
it all on.
one to one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's a very
Well,
good thing.
that tells me that they're in a place with the modding that they like where everything's set at. They instead of introducing it slowly so they can tweak it on EFT and then bring it to Arena. It seems
Well,
like
hopefully
they've got things pretty balanced.
they're hopefully also in a place where Arena and base game are going to start being synced. Like when one comes to Arena, or when one comes to base game, it's also coming to Arena, or at least coming to Arena soon. Because Arena is just now getting the guns that we got at 1.0. Like
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, which is, where's the list? Here we
Right
go.
there.
Armory editions. So all the weapons, all equipment, weapons, and related modifications from Escape from Tarkov updates 1.0 to 1.0.3. So the Colt M16 A1 A2, the CGNL 545 DI and GP, the AK308, the AS Val Mod 4, the Marlin MXLR, the SR25 and Taupe, the M110 preset variant, and the AK Guy AK50, the TKPD carbine have all been added to EFT Arena. Dude, we have the Mod 4 on Arena now. That thing is insane. It's the Val that doesn't jam. What? Yes, the fucking repeater. The lever action Marlin, baby. It's here. The AK-50,
Wow, you're also getting
the TKPD. These guns are in fucking insane.
You guys
I
didn't even
can't
have
wait.
the MK18.
No.
That's crazy because that's been in the game for a long time.
Yeah, the MK18 marksman rifle, previously only available in Tarkov, has also been added to the Arena Armory. Pretty cool. But, dude, like, the AK-308, the Mod 4, the AK-50, and the TKPD are insane firearms. They are so good. Not to mention the Marlin, the new SR25 variant, the 545s, like, so many builds for Arena now, too. We have a lot of work to put into these things. They also
that's
added...
a lot of new content to play.
It is a lot of new content, a lot of new weapon tasks, which they did introduce new weapon tasks, new progression and leveling for these guns and the items and unlocks and stuff like that. And then they also added the 6B45 body armor, which is the quote-unquote, like, one of the best options to run in Tarkov. And they added all the variants for it: medic, general purpose, and assault. The Cry Precision JPC plate carrier, the TacKek JPC plate carrier, and the TacKek JPC plate carrier, black and OD green. So those two, the TacKek JPC, like JAYPC plate carriers, those are the airsoft ones. The Cry Precision JPC plate carrier is not. Due to limited modification capabilities, availability of alternatives, and balancing complexity of real prototypes, the following weapons have been removed from the armory. And there is a long list of guns that are gone.
Wait a minute, what?
Yeah. So the VPO 136 Vepr, the 8R215, the AK 545 Short, the Scar L FDE, the Scar H, the AUG A1 and A3. Wait. Following weapons have been removed from the armory due to limited modification capabilities, availability of alternatives, and balancing complexity of real prototypes. From the
So are
armory.
these
They just
just
straight up
weapons that
removed
you
all these
couldn't
weapons?
you
These are
couldn't like
gone.
update or upgrade?
They
No, you
did
can
they
upgrade
say
all
that you
these.
couldn't upgrade much. These are guns that you can't upgrade much. They have
They only had, like,
alternatives already in the game, or the
5
balancing
tiers.
complexity of real prototypes.
What?
Because I know that's what I
So-
hated about the scars. I could only get, like, what, 5 levels on it, and that was it,
Yeah,
and it's like,
yeah.
when you're in arena and you the only thing you have is weapon mastery, you kinda wanna
Well, I
I
think
don't
the
know, grind through
7.62
it.
SCAR is still going to be an option. I think the AUG is still an option. What I think is going on here, well, at least some of these, you're going to have a SCAR, and then you can put the 7.62 mods onto it. They may be adding the fucking, what do you call it? Weapon modding to change your barrel or your,
The receiver?
yeah, change your receiver for your ammo
Wait a
type.
minute, I'm
So you can
confused.
change
I'm
calibers.
confused.
I am too. Most of the attachments from removed duplicates were transferred to the progression trees of similar appropriate weapons. So these guns that are removed aren't gone from the game, just the variants and extra bits and bobs. All the like we have 3 versions of the AUG, 4 versions of the AUG, we have whatever. You know, we have like the 8R215 and the AK545 are the only two. Oh, the 8R215 may be gone just because it's the M4. There's no reason to have the 8R. All the parts are still there. Everything's still for
I mean, but
it. It's just gone.
statistically, it's quite a bit different. You know, it's
Well, maybe they're just
single fire.
it could be gone because of the modification capabilities, availability of alternatives. It might be into the availability of alternatives. Like, well, there's the
just don't
M4, just run
understand.
that. But the AK545 short is gone. I would imagine that's just swapped barrels and handguards, and you can have your short AK545. The Scar L
I guess
FDE
Scar H.
specifically, and then the Scar Age, you can probably just swap out to mod them.
Well, Scar L, so getting rid of the FDE, you can still get the other color, and then on the
Right.
Scar H, you can still get the X17 conversion.
There it is, the X17. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're
But
still in
here's the
5.56
one I
or
don't
7.62,
understand.
51.
The AUG, that's completely taken
That's
the AUG
both
out. 'cause
versions
that's
of it. I mean,
Yeah.
it has very limited capabilities. You can't do a lot with it.
No, you can't, but damn, it's just like
Maybe
I
they
just
just don't
figured,
really
like,
care for it. Also, the
sounds
PKM
like
is
it.
gone. The M60 E4 and E6. The Makarov PM pistol. The Golden TT33. My baby, my Glock 19X. The Chiappo
What?
Rhino 200 DS. The MTS 255-12, which is the revolver shotgun. The
Right.
HK MP5K, the Suez TM STM9, the IWI Uzi, the Uzi Pro SMG, the Mosin Rifle Infantry, the AKS 74N, and the SKS.
All right.
So
I
there's
guess
some guns that are removed due to limited customization. There's probably some guns removed to just not wanting to deal with it. Right? Was my assumption. Maybe slim down on some of the ammo types and nonsense and all the extra shit that's going on. Maybe. And some of them are removed for availability of alternatives. But there are quite a few guns missing from the list now. So, interesting. But
my
you're
biggest
right.
thing is why
The
not just
AUG, the
leave
AUG's
them in,
gone.
even if they're not great. It's like if someone wants to use them, let them use them.
Right. And there were always like, things to level up to unlock with them and stuff like that. Like the MTS 255-12, you had to level it up to unlock the RSH 12. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, and it's like taking away 2 of the main LMGs. It's like there's not going to be any LMGs. Now that's kind of good because I hated running
Well,
Enforcer and
the
having to use like
M60s are still available. It's just the E4 and the E6 are gone. There's still just the base M60.
Isn't that the 2 bases?
I don't. Well, maybe actually, yeah, you might be right. The E4 might be
Yeah, I think that is both
the
bases.
main. Yeah.
But that's the other thing. I don't know. Like, here's a possibility. Maybe there's things I'm just not understanding what they're saying here because we know sometimes their wording on things isn't
Well,
exactly
at the
perfect.
bottom here, it says most of the attachments from removed duplicates were transferred to the progression trees of similar appropriate weapons. So I think that some of these are just removed because you can build them through other means.
Right, right, right. Yeah, the
Some
only
of them,
ones I'm
like the
seeing that
AUG,
isn't.
seem like they're removed
Yeah,
because they have limited capabilities.
yeah. Which is strange
And
because you can mod the hell out of the AUG now. Like they
oh,
put
you
parts in it where you
could,
can
yeah.
change everything.
You could, yeah, but they seem
Yeah,
maybe
like
there's just a base variant that they added, maybe just like the Steyr AUG, you know what I mean? And that's just what you have now. Because this is only talking about
yeah,
shit
maybe
they removed,
that's
not what they changed and added.
well, like Stony said, maybe it's like now you have like an upper, and you can start from the upper, and you can put an AUG A3 barrel and AUG A1 lower. Like maybe that's what they're saying. Maybe, although the AUG
Possibly.
doesn't split like that, I don't think.
Sure, but for other
But
guns
yeah,
maybe. And maybe with the
yeah. So
AUG,
that's
it's just a
why,
Steyr AUG now, and you can like choose the plastic
yeah.
variant on it, like the P90.
I guess I'll hold judgment until I see that. I hate to see that
It is
many decent
interesting.
weapons
It's
removed.
yeah, it's a choice for sure. I would imagine we'll have to get in
I
and
get
look
it.
at it. We'll update them on everything going
Arena's
on with that
competitive.
for sure.
Arena's competitive. You have to keep things in line with the actual meta. And if
Also
something
true.
is either too good or too bad, it's not worth having. But like I said, I think that I'm probably missing something here, so I guess I'll reserve judgment for now.
Yeah, I think we have good alternatives, other build options, and just like better choices overall, maybe. It is interesting to take guns out completely, but we'll see what they've actually done once we
Yeah.
get in. Stony, what do you think about all this so far? What do you think about these changes made, removing all the variants and potentially whole systems?
Well, I'm actually looking through right now to try and see. They didn't take any of my guns that I normally use, so I'm not too bent out of shape about it. I've kind of just stuck to ones that I perform well with.
That's also true. You kind of got maybe they can see that number and we can't. Maybe there are guns that just do not get used outside of people running
Well,
them to level them.
that's all the LMGs, right? There's no other LMG in the game. Like it was only the PKM and the E60, right?
No,
We
there's
got the
the RPDN,
M60.
the PKP, and the M60, the base M60.
Oh, they had
M
all of them in. Okay,
Yeah, they've moved
E6 is
them all
still
in.
in.
Okay.
okay, E6. Okay.
So maybe it's just certain variants and things that they removed. Check the
Yeah, like I
AUG. See
said,
what they
once
did
I
with the
actually
AUG.
see it, it probably makes more sense.
Right. That's kind of where I'm at too. Um, let's see. What are some other things that happened here? Global armory progression rebalance. Prices and unlock conditions for all weapons and attachments in EFT Arena have been globally reworked. Most profile level and daily/weekly task requirements have been removed from weapon unlock conditions. Access to advanced weapon models is now unlocked through progression of their base versions. The AK-74N would upgrade to the AK-74M, which would upgrade to the AK-12, and then unlocks the AK NL545DI. For weapon attachment progression, in this update, we aim to increase the value of unlocking individual weapon mods. Priority unlocks now include unique and vital parts that improve the effectiveness of specific weapon builds. In some cases, visually appealing or optional modifications are included in progression. We also want to eliminate the situation where most armory items could be unlocked by playing a single weapon. The following changes have been introduced. Duplicate mods have been completely removed from weapon progression trees. To unlock a specific modification, players must now reach the required progression level on the corresponding weapon. Did you look at the AUG, Stony?
Og. I'm actually Og's A3.
Okay, so just a single version of
That
it.
A3 was gone though,
So they said.
because it said A1 and A3
Maybe
were
they
both
just copy
removed.
pasted a list and didn't update it or
Well,
something.
that's what I'm saying. Like, there's been plenty of times where things just didn't come out right, and that's why I
Right.
said, probably should reserve judgment.
Yeah. Wait till we can get in there and look through everything. So here's the other cool one. This one I'm actually really excited for, mainly because we have now opened the door to freedom of kit and build as long as it hits a threshold of a single overall meta score. Um,
Oh wow.
so with patch 0.5.0, we are introducing experimental changes to the meta score limits. Previously, the limits of each of the 4 bars had to be considered when assembling a valid preset, helping maintain balance and variety in EFT Arena. At the same time, the system felt overloaded, especially for new players. hard agree with that. We are temporarily removing restrictions for 3 Metascore bars: firepower, defense, and utility. This will give players complete freedom in building presets, but may result in unbalanced quote-unquote meme builds appearing in matches. We are closely monitoring this experiment and will decide in the future of the Metascore system based on your feedback. Your opinion matters. Feel free to share it on our social media.
Yeah, Arena's going to be completely different for a while.
Yeah, it's going to take some getting used to, because now there are no reasons for you to build a very specific way and run, okay,
No,
well, I can only
absolutely not.
have these 2 meds. I can only run 3 mags with this better tier ammo, but that means my gun only has these parts, and I can't run this suppressor. I can't
Yeah,
run this muzzle device, or
or it's
I
like
can't have
I'm
this
going to
helmet and this head.
buff up my gun and ammo, so now I can't run good armor. You know what I mean? Like that's
Right.
gone.
Well, now you can choose just no meds at all, which saves you some Metascore because it doesn't matter if you have meds or not. And you can just run the best armor, best gear. Like, you just run the best of whatever you can. You can also, not have to take the face mask because you can't run a helmet and all the upgrades on the helmet. I think this is going to be an interesting change. And like, sure, like they said, you might get some meme builds in matches, but like, who gives a shit? Who cares?
I'll
I
be
think it's more
honest.
fun. I like having
Yeah,
variety.
that's what I was going to say. I kind of always wanted, because there were so many times I would build a loadout and then I would go to hit like save and it'd be
Save it
like,
and it would be
can't
like,
save this
nope.
build. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Like why? And then I'd realize, oh, I'm over on firepower, or I'm over on defense. I'm like, well, why? Like it's the right score total. And it's like, as long as you're in the right total score, you should be able to build it. And I'm sure it'll cause some issues and probably be some, mishaps at first, but I just think this will be better overall.
Yeah, it would be hard for it not to be better overall. What do you think, Stony? Do you think that's a good change? Opening up the Metascore system to where overall score is all that matters?
Uh, See, I'm split. I'm split between that because I did like the fact that you had to. Okay, well, I can't really run this, M62 with my 300 blackout in every
Well,
single mag.
you'll still hit your threshold of, like, you can only hit max of 12.5 or whatever the total is. So, like, a lot of the times when you were trying to run good armor and good ammo, you'd hit that threshold too. So it's like, now it's
Yeah,
just
you'll still
you
hit it
can lean
now.
one way more, not. I I I don't think we'll be able to, like, go overly
Well,
meta, like crazy kits,
no,
you know?
the the problem was is some builds, like some guns, you were forced to use like certain ammo, and the only ammo you could get was really good. So it's like you didn't have a choice of you had like 2 mags, and you could never bring that third mag unless you dumbed it down to really bad ammo, because it would just overload your firepower so much. Like the rest of your build was fine, it didn't really affect it. All this is going to do now is you can take one thing off that extra and just not worry about the firepower going over. It's like your build mostly is still going to be the same, but you're not going to have to tweak that last little thing just to make it fall in line. I don't think it's going to be completely like outrageous, but I think this is just going to allow you to do more of what you want instead of those slight little things that you had to tweak because of what weapon or what armor. I don't think it's going to be crazy. But I do think it's good. I think it just is easier to pick what you want.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think it does open up a lot of freedom. Um,
But I get what Stoney's saying too. Like I do understand
well,
there
that's what I was gonna
is
say.
that
Why do you
little
think
bit of oh shit.
what's the biggest thing that keeps you, like, wanting the old system?
Well, I guess I don't want to keep the old system. If they feel like this is gonna advance, do something for us, I'm down to try it out. I'm like Dizzle in this. I'll reserve judgment for I gotta play it out and see how I can build stuff and see how it really affects the whole arena gameplay before I'm like, this
Sure,
is
yeah.
stupid, or yeah, I like this change.
Right, right. No, that's fair. Um, yeah, we haven't had much time to get on and do anything. I got on and I, like, checked out the TAC map and looked at some stuff, but overall, we really haven't had a lot of free time to play yet
Well,
today.
even BSG, they said what this is temporary, right? They said this was only going to be a
Yeah,
short
this is
time.
just, well, they're gonna run it and get our feedback on it, and then that'll determine how we go
Okay,
forward for
okay.
the future. So If you like
Okay, yeah,
it, be
so
sure to let them know that you like it. If you dislike it, please have, well articulated good reasons for why you dislike it. Don't just be, I want this, put some effort into your thoughts here and make it, something that they can actually get feedback off of. Um,
right.
we know that them telling you to go to social media is going to include a fuck ton of Twitter nonsense. So just ignore the comment threads and just post your opinion and move on. You could
Yeah.
also go to
Don't feed the
Tarkov.Community
trolls.
with it. Hell, you could even submit a ticket and just be like, "Hey, I like this system." You're not limited to just Twitter. It's a toxic fucking environment over there, boys. So, anytime I'm guilty of it though, dude. Anytime
Yeah.
I go to comment on
It'll
something, I
suck you
scroll
in.
through the comments and look and see what people are
Yep.
saying. And it's so bad, I just
That's
want to
what
be
it's
like, "You're fucking dumb. You don't know what you're talking about. You literally you
it's
put
designed
zero
that way,
effort into
man.
this game." Yeah, it's
That's
gross.
why like casino designers were hired to make like social media more
Right.
addicting. Like that's the reason it's made that way. That's why when you pull down the page to refresh and you get that little sound, like that's supposed to be like a slot machine. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah, it's
get
supposed to
that,
feel good.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
dopamine
get
hit.
that hit, that dopamine in your head, like, oh yep, I just
That's
scored.
it. Big deal, big deal, big deal. And then you get a bunch of fresh new stories to look at.
And then you realize after you argue for 20 minutes and you put a bunch of thought into what you were saying, you realize nobody
You
else
just
that you're
got
arguing
baited.
with is putting any thought into anything they're saying.
No,
And you're the
yeah.
only one trying to be reasonable and honest and truthful. And you realize it was all for nothing because half those people are Russian bots, anyways.
Yeah, they're either bots or they're rage baiters. Like there's so much in between. But yeah,
Yeah.
it is frustrating to go and read a bunch of the shit. It's like, dude, shut up. It just gets old. But yeah, go let them know how you feel about the new system. I think it's a great change. I think overall it might take a little getting used to, but I think it's going to let us set up some interesting kits. Not being forced to run armor if I don't want to. I don't want to run a helmet and armor. I don't want to run ears. I don't want to run this, that, or the other. Like if I can get away with that now and just build, oh, I can take in two guns. I don't have to have just one gun now. I can take a mod 4 in, I can take a pistol, and I can take a fucking shotgun, and I can work on that three kills task. You know what I mean? That achievement.
Yeah.
You
You can put
can
all your
go in
points
with
into
a
one
bolt
category now.
action and a sig spear and just go run on people. Like you can do all kinds of goofy stuff
Yeah.
now. Um,
Well, and the fact they're doing it cautiously by focusing on improvements and feedback, that tells me that, even if there is something that is like severely uh hurtful to the game from this, it'll get fixed pretty quick.
yeah, yeah. They've also introduced a new weapon task. They have introduced new weapon tasks, but they added a new task lines. Well, a few new task lines. So, added a 46-part task line to EFT Arena divided into 3 difficulty tiers. Beginner, introductory tasks for learning the game modes. Advanced, more challenging tasks requiring skill, also granting PMC skill progression levels. Hardcore, unconventional challenges for experienced players. And I'm assuming that we are looking at things like, oh, hit jump shots, get melee kills, use specific guns in specific ways and things like that. So we'll see exactly what they come up with. Like maybe get a triple kill capturing an objective or shut down enemy players from planting or mid plant, stuff like that. Like I'm sure there's some weird challenges that they put together, with some of the completionists that they have access to yap with and get ideas from and things like that. I'm sure there's some stuff's been cooked up.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. Because
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, arena it can be difficult if you're not
Oh yeah.
like it's different than Tarkov. Here's what I'm trying to say. If you're good at Tarkov and you've played Tarkov for a while, that doesn't translate immediately in arena. Like you have to play arena for a while before you can actually be good at the game. And I just think there's a lot of newer players that jump to arena expecting to, play Tarkov for a couple weeks and think, "Oh, okay, I can just jump over to arena." And then they just get completely stomped and they don't understand what they're doing wrong and that makes them not come back. And I think there's got to be something they can do to where maybe maybe like the beginner challenges and things. Maybe it just helps people get a grip on the game mode more, because I just think that would help the player base a lot if people were eased
Yeah.
into it a little more instead of just dropped into it. Because honestly, it's a whole new beast. Like Arena is its own animal. Like it's
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
Tarkov.
No,
And
no.
like I said, experienced players, I hopped in and would just get smoked when I first started, because Arena had been out, people had mastered it. It's just like the main game. You have certain people that are just crazy, but then the regulars, people who play it all day, every day, they're going to be better than you. Even if you're better than them in the main game, they're going to smoke you. And it just, I feel like it puts so many people off. And hopefully they can find that balance to where
All the
onboarding new
systems.
players is daunting.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I think that's where those beginner tasks are going to be
Yeah,
pretty
I think
handy.
that's what they were saying.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. But even the tutorial, getting some changes to it too as well. Like they said, some changes at least. But yeah, I think doing stuff like this and adding task lines to kind of help players get or inducted is good. They
Yeah,
added some task features. Each task line completion grants a unique achievement. Some tasks can be completed in parallel, and then completion unlocks armory rewards, weapons, armor, gear, masks, medical items, and unique camo sets. They've added some new achievements. Added achievements for the new task line, added achievements for shootout and last hero modes, added achievements for completing Battle Pass Season 2, Casus Belli. Daily and weekly tasks. Added daily and weekly tasks for shootout mode. Reduce the number of mode specific tasks. Most can now be completed across multiple game modes.
that's great.
Those are I know Stony and I would hop on and we would get our dailies, our weekly, and hope that it was like last hero or checkpoint, right? Just because those are the quicker ways to get their stuff done and get through the games so you can get back over to base game. And if it wasn't, we would blow millions of rubles on Arena to just get a quick lineup of dailies and weekly. Just because
Reroll
it's like,
after reroll.
yeah, like if I can get my dailies to all say, get elims in last hero, get headshots in last hero, top 5 in last hero. You know what I mean? Like that's a cakewalk. That's easy. And then if my
Yesterday I got
weekly is kills or something like that too, shit.
yesterday, that just to prove to that point, I had 3 dailies and I got them done in 2 games because I re-rolled till I got checkpoint. One of them's eliminations, one of them's contribute to win score, and one of them was like win as a marksman or something like that. So I just went in with my damn M1A and freaking got that marksman one done the first game, and I was halfway done with my contribute score and got the last 2 done in the second game, and I was able to hop over to base game.
Yeah, stacking them is the way to go. Why play 6 rounds when you can stack them all and do them all in 1 to 2 rounds?
Yeah, and that's the other side of it is like you have to jump through so many game modes if you don't rotate your dailies.
Yeah.
Which it sounds like there
Um,
are still, mode specific tasks, obviously, but there's
yeah.
much less of them, which is the big part.
It seems like they've really gamified, like made it more of an actual game to where you have a lot more tasks, a lot more missions, a lot more
Yeah, there's
rewards.
definitely more going on.
Um,
Well, and they're
but
adding
here's
new
the
game
thing.
modes and stuff too.
What's
Like,
Yeah, what is that new game mode? Was it Shootout?
yeah,
Shootout.
so shootout. Let me find the section where they yap about it.
I'll read you what it says on, because I'm in arena right now, and I'm looking at the game mode. It says shootout tournament, shootout, a round robin tournament style match where each team plays against the others. The 2 teams with the highest number of victory points meet in the final, where the winner is determined.
Yep.
Okay, so it's like a
Um,
mini tournament.
Yeah, a
It's
fast-paced
2v2s.
2v2 tournament featuring 6 teams. They face off in sequence, with the top 2 advancing to a final clash to determine the winner. Key changes compared to the previous version. All rounds now run in parallel. Spectator stands have been removed, significantly reducing downtime between fights. So now everything's running
Oh,
quicker. Added the ability to switch
this is
presets after each fight. That's huge. All the team colors have been removed except red for enemies and blue for allies. For easier identification in the leaderboard, unique team icons in the form of animals have been added. The mode's user interface has been fully redesigned. Shootout is now available on the following locations: Air Pit, Block, Equator, and Factory.
Is this the game mode that we had when they
Yeah,
were
yeah,
introducing beta,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Arena?
It launched with
This
this,
is
and then
it.
they took it
Yeah.
away.
I
That's why
enjoyed
when he
this game mode.
said, yeah, I obviously am not going to be a big fan. I never was to begin with, but this sounds a lot better than what it was at the
It does
start.
sound better than it was, yeah. And I think I'll like it. 2v2 is always fun. I like the idea of the tournament style too, like actually fighting your way to the win. It almost kind of reminds me of like World of Warcraft arenas, like running twos in that. You know what I mean? Like you're just competing against other players to be the better. And there's a
Well,
leaderboard. Not saying I'll be anywhere near anything ranked worth a while on there, but it gives players incentives and it's cool. And I think it's a pretty cool game mode too. I think it sounds kind of fun.
the biggest change is running the rounds concurrently.
Yeah, there's no downtime now. You
Because it
play your
used to be
match.
you had to
If you
sit,
win, you
you had to
move
watch
on.
the other teams play. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
remember
Because
that.
before that was the issue is you would wait through like 2 or 3 matches just before you would play, and like no one wanted to do that.
No, it was shitty. And then there's the new location added for this as well. The new arena location Factory, a section of the original EFTA location, reworked and adapted for the shootout format. So
Did we call that or
again,
what?
no, we did absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
We usually are pretty accurate with everything we guess, so never doubt us, always
Always.
believe us. So here are the new weapon tasks and paintable weapons. The race for unique number tagged guns has already begun. Be among the first 1,000 players to complete the new W tasks and receive a personalized weapon number tag. My MP7A2, I have I'm number 602 on. Weapons that received new weapon tasks and paint options: the FNP90, the AS Val, the SR3M, the Saiga 12K, the Saiga 12K FA, the Saiga 12K FA Redline. Weapon tasks have been added for all listed weapons and become available after full leveling progression.
Wait a minute. The Saiga Redline is an actual whole model?
It's a whole mod. Yeah, it's its own version.
Wonder what's different about it.
The paint and collars on it, I think. It's the one with the red accents, the pistol
Yeah,
grip, the
I would
buttstock, all that
assume
stuff. You would think it was just mods, but apparently they're not letting us have that yet.
the mechanics of the gun have to be different for them to give us
It might be,
yeah,
yeah.
and if they're giving it a whole new name, it's gotta have something different. Because otherwise it would just be mods for the Saiga. The fact
Right.
that this is a whole new it's gotta be like Fire Raid or something has to be different.
From what I can see on the screen, nothing different other than the name, but I'm sure there's some variance to it for sure. So we also got, which we've been needing on Arena because audio sucks sometimes. It's pretty good, not gonna lie, it is pretty good, but sometimes it can be a cluster. So we got some audio changes. Inner round volume is now tied to interface volume. Cool. Gameplay audio has been rebalanced, improved the spatial positioning, reworked the gunshot audio in the first and third person, reduced the gunshot volume, improved the sound obstruction handling, reduced the volume and range of certain impact sounds. So that should help a good bit, honestly. Gunshot audio not being anywhere near as loud as it was is pretty massive in my opinion. Just because like somebody firing an M60, over by C objective on Bay 5 sounds like it's right next to B. Like it can be extremely loud. And sure, we're in a pretty tight confined area, but this is also a video game, so it's like it's kind of unnecessary to have all that extra volume. It's just rough on your ears. And more specifically, when you have like IEMs are just a good headset. Like I hear more than most people hear. I've come to gather from just running raids and stuff, and everybody's always like, "How'd you hear that? How'd you hear that?" Um, my IEMs are tuned for like footsteps and gunshots. So when the things are already louder than they should be, and then they're even louder on my end, it's just like I hate it. It ruins my ears. But so I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Reducing gunshot volume sounds like a great idea because like I said, one, the maps are tight already, so you can hear all the shots whether they're suppressed or not. So it doesn't really make sense to have extra loud volumes.
Sometimes you can't even tell where footsteps are coming from, where other people across the map are getting into fights.
Yeah, dude, when those fucking loud weapons start going off, like unsuppressed weapons start going off, and especially when people are just holding it down, dude, you can't hear shit. So that's good. We also got the new factory tactical map. That's a pretty cool one. There are some good rewards. I think we kind of already went over that a bit. Let's see. The new Battle Pass season, Casus Belli, is now live in EFT Arena, featuring over 70 unique rewards, including the Saiga 12K full auto shotgun with the unique skin Redline, new reflex sights and weapon attachments, new tactical clothing and weapon camouflages, full gear sets, helmets, body armor, chest rigs, and plate carriers, including the new Fort Gladiator S plate carrier in multiple variants. It does look sick. And then Liga medals and Echo Belly crates for EFT Arena.
So it is just a
Battle,
skin.
yeah, it seems like it.
Okay.
It seems like it. You can get with the new tactical map factory. You get voiceover by guest announcer Tequila. You get unique tactical clothing, weapon camos, new masks and eyewear, gear, helmets, body armor, chest rigs, and plate carriers, including the Fort Gladiator S plate carrier, multiple variants, Echo Belly crates for Arena, Battle Pass points for Season 2. Rewards are unlocked using tactical tokens earned through specific in-match actions. And then, as I've already stated in a previous video, factory tokens can't be used on customs or vice versa. You can now, on the top right, when you click on your battle pass icon and you go to where the tactical map is up at the top right, you can switch between factory and customs now. Refs drop crates have some really cool rewards again. They're definitely worth checking out. You know, if you don't want to spend money on it, you don't have to. You get plenty of free crates, but there are some really cool skins and just pretty good rewards that go around in there. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. But overall, like, they did some changes to, let me get down here to it again. They made some starter preset rebalances. Leon and Red for Assault had their builds changed or guns changed entirely. For Verone and Alpha, same thing. They've had some stuff swapped over. Same for Scout with Foch. Replaced the M3 Super 90 with the Remington 870 using AP 20 rounds. So like they just kind of rebalanced stuff a little bit, brought things more in line with what they're trying to do. I think that's everything for patch notes that's worth going over. There are some new customization options. They added some of the prestige stuff that you can get, some of the Twitch drop stuff you can get, like the USEC voice Rob, Vitali, Nikita, the Bear Nikita, Sean, Basilevs, Gesture OK added to preset Prestige 2, Rock Paper Scissors added to Prestige 1. So that's all brought over to Arena, so that's cool. And then we have the available for purchase on the website, the Bear customization 3 stripes, the USEC one Scav Tac, and then Old Garden Veteran are brought over as well if you were only buying them on Arena. And that's it. I mean, that's probably not everything, but that's the important stuff, I think. I don't want to spend too much longer on the Arena patch notes just because it is a lot. We'll definitely keep you updated on anything major that we notice along the way, or if something turns out to be a bigger deal than we thought. We'll definitely update you guys on that.
Yeah. And one last thing, there are some hot fixes that are probably already out, or if not, they will be coming out soon. There were a
They've
few.
done something
Uh,
because my TAC map started working. So
okay.
something got implemented because I couldn't access it at all previously. But that
Well,
is
they
one of the
put out a
things,
tweet.
right?
Yeah, they put out a tweet saying that they had a fix for Tarkov. I just hadn't seen anything about Arena, but I assume they probably did put one out, and that's probably why everything's working now. Because with any big update, there's always going to be little things, and it looks like they've been on top of it though pretty quickly.
Yeah, it does seem that way.
The only other thing I can think of, it doesn't allude to any of the updates, but something that I didn't realize, Steam now has the option to purchase stuff that you couldn't get because on Steam you couldn't buy things off the website. Anything
Right.
for
So like all the
Tarkov
legacy
has to be
clothing's over
bought.
now.
Yeah, it has to be bought on Steam, and basically you couldn't just buy the game Tarkov and then, or I'm sorry, buy the game on Steam and then go to the website and start buying gear like, clothing and things like that. It just wouldn't work. Well, now Steam actually has it where you can go in there and buy outfits and things. So anybody who has it on Steam that wanted some outfits, now you can actually do it. I tell you, that's caused some issues because I just wish it was simpler. Because I know so many people, I've read stories where they've bought things such as, PVE, and they bought it, through the website, but they bought Tarkov on Steam and it completely messed everything up and they couldn't get
Oh,
it to work and they had to
yeah, that
create a new
means
account. Then it wiped their character and they lost all their progress. Like, it's just, there's been some real horror stories. And I feel like, I don't know how true this second thing I'm about to say is, but people have said that the only thing Steam is doing is creating a fake launcher, that the launcher really isn't real. It's just a second launcher. So if you actually log in to that second launcher with a different account, it wipes your existing characters. Like, there's a bunch of just weird things going on. And hopefully, I don't know if it can be sorted, but I hope somehow it can get sorted where people aren't losing progress and characters
dude,
and
I would
stuff
be
they
so
bought.
upset
And
if something like that
yeah,
happened.
it's just not great. Or there needs to just be more information about what's what. And
Right,
maybe there
players should
is, maybe I
know.
haven't looked enough, but I know I've seen
Well,
at
you shouldn't
least
have to
20
look. With
different
stuff like
people.
that, it should be on the front page. Like, that should be.
Yeah, I've seen 20 different people on Steam complaining in that, when you write your review, that's the reason they're writing their review is because they have lost shit or they've just felt like they got screwed over. And I hate to see Tarkov getting a bad reputation like that.
Yeah, it's already fighting hard enough to, stay
Yeah.
in
Well, and they've done
good
so
standing.
well
They
over the
have.
last few years.
Absolutely.
Like, they've done
Yeah, they've
so
stepped it
well
up
at
tenfold.
communication and just everything's been so well. And
Staying
then
on a
Steam
pretty decent
launched.
schedule and
Yeah. Steam launched and it just seemed to go opposite. It's like a bunch of the bad stuff came back. But I don't know. Hopefully it's something they're either working on or something that's going to be fixed in the future. Just hopefully some changes happen.
yeah, yeah. And I'd say so. I think they'll get stuff like that ironed out for sure. Um,
Well,
I-
honestly, it's not different than any other games because it's like you
right.
can't go on you can't go on Rockstar's launcher and buy a DLC pack for a game that you own on Steam. Like, it just doesn't work that way. So technically I shouldn't expect it to work that way with Tarkov, but unfortunately Tarkov's a little different because you sell individual skins and things like that, and people think, where do you get that? You get that on the Tarkov website. And then it's like, well, no, not if you have the Steam version, you don't. And it's like, maybe it's just a lesson that people are going to have to learn and get used to, and maybe there's nothing they can do about it. Because after I thought about it, I realized all games are that way. I guess it's just,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Considering it's the only other place you can get Tarkov, it's just weird that none of the other things that you are normally buying, for Tarkov are purchasable. I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, that's where a chunk of your player base is at too. You would think you'd want it running well.
Well, like I said, once I thought about it, it kind of made sense because it's like you're not going to buy an NFL 24 on Steam and then launch it on Epic and buy a skin for your football player on Epic and then go back to Steam and be upset because it's not on Steam. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like, I
right,
get it.
right. But still, it would be nice for players. Not everybody.
Yeah,
I think it just makes more sense to keep it in a smooth running place, anyways.
it's confusing. It really is. It's
For sure.
Tarkov's a different kind of game. Like, I don't know.
That's very true. Speaking of different kinds of games, before we call it quits here, I've been playing a lot of Marathon lately, and it's similar to Tarkov keybind wise. There are some differences, and every time I play one and then jump it back to the other, it feels so awkward. But Marathon does do things really, really well. Their like gun progression system and the traders and all that, like you're leveling up and all the things you unlock as you do it, outside of limited stash space that you can't purchase more of or do any kind of upgrading other than through a trader, and you have to hit thresholds to be able to do that. Outside of that, I have zero complaints about the game. It plays really well. It moves, like, the pacing feels great. Everything's fast paced, but not so fast that you don't have time to think or loot or do stuff. You can work on your tasks, but fights feel very rewarding, very enjoyable. The class abilities and everything are really, really cool. There's a lot of fun stuff you can do in it. If you're looking for something still in the extraction shooter genre, but made by Bungie, so
Buttery.
it's made by Bungie, so it's still in that looter shooter realm as well. So you have like weapon and mod progression systems for like white, green, blue, purple into gold, right? So you have things you're working for all the time. You start with pretty much an all white stash and you're trying to just keep building it up and building it up and building it up. And it's a lot of fun. Good tasking, good progression, good pacing. Raids are on reasonably sized maps with decent timers, so you don't feel like you're in there all day and night. Like it's solid. It's a lot of fun. If it's something you're interested in, check it out. Gray Zone also had their Spearhead update, which is still looks really fun, really enjoyable. If I wasn't playing so much Marathon, I'd probably be playing Gray Zone on top of Tarkov. But yeah, I'm definitely ready and waiting for patch 1.05.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
I need the icebreaker event. We need something to sink our teeth into, and on top of seasonal characters.
Yeah,
Um,
seasonal is going to be huge.
yeah, giving us a chance to just keep the wipe happening, but still have a permanent character, man. I'm so excited for that.
Oh, one more game if we're going to shout out some games here. Road to
For sure.
Vostok.
Oh
It's
yeah,
early
yeah.
access. It's one single developer. It's one guy. Give him some support. It's already selling
Yeah, it's
great. It's
15
already
bucks on Steam,
been a
dude. Go
massive
pick it up.
success. Yeah. Um, he's working day and night, like getting things done quickly. He's already got a roadmap you can see for the next 7 updates of what he has planned. And it's a single player, uh, hardcore shooter. It's very similar to Tarkov, but where you're just, in a persistent world. It's not really, you could call it an extraction shooter because you're always getting back to your base or else you're just gonna die. So kind of extraction like,
Yeah,
but
to a point.
more yeah, it's a persistent world where your base
Yeah,
is in the world. Um, but yeah, it's great. I would kind of put it in like as a mix of like Daisy and Tarkov, kind of with a little stalkerness to it.
which
Um,
sounds phenomenal.
yeah, it's great. There's already a free demo, so if you want to try it, you can try it. And the free demo has a lot of content to play. Like you got a few hours of content you can sit there and play to really get an idea. But the main thing is this is a single developer, and man, if they've done this already, I think they're going to have a great game by the time they're done. And it's honestly shocking how well they've done, considering this is their first project. The programming is what I'm excited about because they didn't just take Unreal Engine and buy a bunch of assets. This is on a completely different open source engine. It was on Unity, similar to Tarkov, but then he was having some limitations with Unity, so he switched over. I can't remember the name of the engine it's on now, but it's a
Godot?
more what is it?
Godot?
Yeah,
Something like
that's it.
that?
That's it. Yeah, you're right. Uh yeah, it's a far a less used engine, but from what I've seen, it's running great. It's basically just the same as it was on Unity. I haven't seen a major difference because I've played both versions. And yeah, it's a very impressive game for having one guy behind all of it, and it just makes me excited for what's to come. Um, give it a chance, check it out. If you like the demo, buy it, support the guy, help him make the game better.
For sure.
Yeah, that game's super fun, and for being a single dev, it plays so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't picked it up yet, but I'm definitely going to. I'm excited to check it out eventually. Like I said, I've just been putting all my time into Marathon, and when I'm not playing Marathon, I'm on Tarkov, so it's like kind of hard to find the time to put into another game. But Road to Vostok is
Well,
one that I absolutely want to play, so it's up the list.
and for people with like low spec PCs, you can play it. It's really old schoolish, kind of like graphically wise. Like I can
It's definitely
basically
got the
max it
stalker
out
vibe
at
to
like,
it, yeah.
yeah, I can max it out at like 300, 400 FPS constantly. So it's like I know if you wanted to play it at 60 to 120 FPS, you could get away with that on a very minimum PC. So
Yeah, me getting like 60, no more than 80 frames on Tarkov, I get like 120 plus on Vostok.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
it runs
awesome.
great.
That's awesome. But yeah, so plenty of cool titles to get out there and check out. Definitely hit up Vostok. Like Adam was saying, it's a single dev and it's it's only $15. If nothing else, go show the guy some support and see what the game turns into.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
But
definitely if you're a Daisier and you like Tarkov and
Yeah.
Stalker, this is definitely a game for you.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Even I guarantee you when Ryan tries it, he'll love it too.
Oh,
So,
I have no doubt. I have no doubt in my mind that I'll enjoy it.
yeah.
It's just getting the time to actually put into it. I definitely want to play
Yeah.
it. It's up my list for sure. Like I said, it's something I want to put some time into.
Well, another good thing, another positive, it's extremely small. I think it's only like 2.8 gigabytes. Like, so
Oh,
it's
nice.
not a
Yeah.
big install. Like, it's a quick download, a quick install. Like, it's just it's a cool game. And the best way I can describe it is it's a very relaxing game that can turn very non-relaxing in an instant. Like, it's
Right.
it's got both worlds. So
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited to try it. But yeah,
yeah.
if you guys end up on Road to Vostok, let us know. Let us know what you think about it. But if that's everything for this week, anything else?
Stony, did you already say like do you stream anywhere or anything, or did you already say that?
Yeah, you can catch me on Twitch, Master Stony 420, and like Instagram and stuff like that.
There you go, guys. Give Stony a follow. Go out there
Yeah, go
and show
check out
some
his
love.
Twitch. He streams every night pretty well.
I try and upload to TikTok every week, little exciting
No,
clips from
we don't promote TikTok here.
Is it under the same name?
Yeah, all under the
All right,
same
yeah.
name.
Nice. That's Master Stony 420. Go check him out. He's one of the homies. Chill ass dude. But if that's everything, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode of Talking Tarkov, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Just don't forget to click the bell icon so you never miss an upload. We'll catch you next week. See ya.